Sonic Productions Friday night show, It Gets Worse. It's great. Hi, I'm Josh the Dungeon Master, World Builder, for our mostly 5th edition D&D campaign, also called It Gets Worse. With us tonight is about a half cast, but we'll take it. We've got Grace playing Vera, the halfling, former crime boss, now crime grandma, monk, rogue person. We have Mary playing Almania, the former Dragonborn, now reincarnated Raven folk. And Jenny, once again playing Talia, the half-elf cleric, wizard multi-class cleric. Oh my gosh. And is back together. Anyway.
It's been 17 episodes.
I know. It's felt like so much longer. Oh my god. Without further ado, we're going to jump into when we last left our heroes. And when we last left our heroes, you guys have finally made it back to your hometown of Onishur, where things are not going well. You've been gone for somewhere between 6 and 8 months in-game. And your home base at the moment is in Vera's son Benji's section of the Slacks neighborhood in Onishur, which is currently under siege by the cult of Illyriel on one side, Marianne on another side. Nobody knows who Marianne is. And a variety of kobolds and monsters on the other. Nighttime travel, as you've heard, is deadly, and daytime travel is ill-advised. Nevertheless,
we did it anyway.
Yes. Nevertheless, you had some things to do. Benji didn't have any work for you, which is what you had all offered and to accomplish for him. And so you went about your own errands, paramount among them, reestablishing contact with Talia by going to the Lord Artyom Samvelhain's manor. You guys had to split up at the gate to the council district, which appeared to be under heavy guard. Damia, your couple of other members of the Silhaloon cult, Constantine, Karina, and I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting somebody, all
Shoji.
had to, oh, and Shoji, that's right, all had to remain outside, and so they went off to a different district to help Damia find kind of the place that her family used to live 300 years ago before she got frozen in carbonite. And by that I mean petrified. Meanwhile, Vera and Almania continued on to Samvelhain's manor, where they were welcomed in the usual fashion. Their shoes were taken and scrubbed clean, rose water for their hands, full baths. Almania took full advantage of this, whereas Vera did not. And, well, you cleaned up a little bit and then put on one of your other dresses that you made out of the dead wizard Kingrave's wizardly robes. And finally, while Almania was bathing and perfuming and getting new clothes and having her old clothes burned, Vera, you waited in the lounge of the manor. Talia entered to find you. Rufus, or Roscoe, depending on which name pops into my head.
It's his first name and his last name.
But which one is which? I can't keep it together.
His name is Rufus Roscoe.
His name is Roscoe.
Roscoe Rufus.
Roscoe Rufus, the unusually tall halfling, says, I will leave you to speak. Perhaps for a little more privacy, you may use the inner kitchen. Some food will be brought to you, and I shall fetch Lord Samvelhain.
Thank you, Roscoe.
Maybe a few moments. He has worked through the night and only recently went to bed, so he will be here shortly.
Well, make sure he attains his full rest. Thank you, Roscoe.
And he ushers you to the inner kitchen. You've seen the main kitchen. This one looks like kind of where the staff might break their fast. Small stools and tables, and he gestures you in there. And a few minutes later, each of you is brought a large bowl of some kind of porridge, oatmeal with fresh blueberries, just a hint of cinnamon, some honey in there. It smells amazing. And you guys are left alone a moment until Almania or Sam Velhain joins you.
Can I say before this happened, like right before we walked in, I would have gone and like hugged Talia around the waist.
Oh, she definitely hugs you back. Ma, it's so good to see you.
Oh, Talia, my dear. I sort of hold her back a little bit and look up because I'm probably about half your size. Like, it really is you, isn't it?
Of course it's me. Who else would it be?
I don't know. We've seen some strange things in our days.
Well, you'll have to tell me all about it.
Then Roscoe/Rufus can talk and take us away.
Back up. Like, I'll come and join them.
I just like keep my hand on your wrist.
Well, you shouldn't
At the
have been
table.
too worried. You know I was in good company when I left, and
I know you
I
were.
assume that Leontia gave you my note, yes?
I'm sorry, a note?
That is odd.
Well,
Yeah, no, I left a note for you. A few things you said as we were parting affected me in certain ways.
yes, they're intended to. But I know you're entirely here for your family. How are they? Did you find them?
Yes, I mean, I went home, and they weren't there, which was disturbing and terrifying. But I kept my head and I came to Samvelhain, where he had kept his word and he had taken care of them. Even though we had apparently disappeared off the face of the earth, he is a most benevolent person who took my family in and has given them aid and shelter and such good food as you see before you now.
Inside check.
Vera.
Roll an insight.
No, I'm so sorry. Let me explain, perhaps to the viewing audience. Vera's headspace right now is like Talia's always had this thing about being mind controlled. Like that's what she dreads, and like she's too chill right now, and it's kind of freaking Vera out. And Vera doesn't like Sam Velhain anyway, so what I'm looking for is the that weird affect that people had in Sam Velhain's guards. If you remember what I'm talking about.
Yes, no, I remember.
Yeah, and just is she as she was, or is something off or weird?
No, go ahead and roll an insight check.
Cool.
Can I show up too? Am I with them at this?
You are currently luxuriating in a bath, and so it'll be a few minutes, but
That's fine.
Total of 17.
Yes.
You detect none of that hesitation, none of that, that kind of weird affect. No inkling of mind control. Yeah.
All right, and you seem well. I can't tell you how glad I am.
It was a rocky start, honestly. Things were rough on the ship, and I lost my spell book, and everything that I
sorry.
needed to practice my magic, but Sam Valhain provided me with materials to start a new one. He's given me some spells. I've been able to just kind of rebuild a little bit of what I've lost, but not quite back up. You know, things are hard here. So he's given me a couple of items to help.
I'm pleased.
He's honestly, oh my gosh, he's been amazing. I'm so grateful that, yes, I'm very grateful for him.
Well, I must be too, since he has done all this for you. And believe me, I've seen the other parts of the city, and I would never wish that for you. What's happening to
It's bad.
my neighborhood. And to be honest, coming here and seeing how almost unchanged it is, it almost makes me angry. I mean, it does. I'm sure you might understand.
Oh, Ma. Yes, of course I understand, but you've not touched your porridge. You should get started on that.
Oh my gosh, this is freaking Vera out.
This is freaking me out. This is freaking Mary out. You should eat your food. Wide-eyed, way too big of a smile. You know, you really should. It's like, it's good for you.
I mean, I'm eating it.
Mm-hmm. Does I'll just slide past that comment. Does Sam Valhain have plans for the city? I mean, plans to unite, to restore what once was. I mean, I figure if we work together, we can do something.
Of course, working together would be obviously everything that he ever intended for us to do. You know, he's been very generous, especially considering the fact that, you know, we disappeared and didn't fulfill
Yes.
our end of the contract, and he didn't take it out of my hide when I got back like I was afraid he might. Kelfier certainly would have. But I believe mostly we've been sort of preserving what we can, you know, here. It's very possible that he may have jobs for you to complete, and maybe he'll allow me to come with you and help you.
He'll allow you.
I mean, of course, he would send me with you, obviously.
Yeah. So, do you? I suppose we all did, but do you work for him personally now?
Well, of course. What else would I do? I owe him a great debt.
Yes, it's understandable, but what became of your companions on the way here?
Well, we have been working together a lot. I'm doing odd jobs for him here and there, helping with things in the city. Obviously, I'm not as powerful as I once was, but I help as much as I can.
Yes, I'm sure you do. My granddaughter met you, or she knows you.
I'm sorry?
Uh,
Well, of course I've met Theodosia. I met her at the festival.
yes, of course you did. I was wondering perhaps if you'd seen her in the
No.
city. She's been missing, and it's worried me. I wondered if she might have.
Vera, that is terrible.
Yes, I wondered if she might have found her way here. It seems very secure here, and she's a sensible girl.
I do remember that she was a sensible girl, yes.
Yes, and I thought perhaps she might have remembered you and that you were a friend, and she might have come to you.
I wish she would have. I'm sure Sam Valhain would have helped her just the same as he's helped me and my family. But no, I haven't seen her. I actually have had no contact with any of your family. I thought it was rather odd, but they weren't available when I got here.
Weren't available. Did you speak with them, or
No, I could not speak with them. I could not find them.
could not? Oh,
I assumed that had to do with your organization, that you're good at not being found when you wish to not be found.
certainly, that may be part of it. Yes. So you didn't go to the Slacks?
No, I didn't. I came here and I found my family, and Sambelhane had things that he needed me to do, and my companions as well. Obviously, can't speak of them.
Yes, of course. As much as can be said, of course, we can't speak as much as we might wish. Your companions are also assisting Sambelhane.
Yes, it is in the city's best interest.
And they're here.
Well, they're not here at the moment. They're out on a job.
Yes, but this is where they headquarters, so to speak.
I suppose in a manner of speaking, in that they don't really live here. But well, I don't ask too many questions, Vera. You know, it gets
Dangerous.
complicated. Yes, dangerous. Exactly.
Yes, that's understandable.
At this point, Almanya, cleaned, scrubbed, feathers gleaming, dressed in new, nice, wonderful clothing, comes in carrying her own bowl of food.
I haven't been this clean since the day I was transfigured into this shape.
I honestly didn't believe the guards.
Oh, it is her. Believe me, I saw it with my own eyes. There's no question.
Talia,
Isn't she beautiful?
She
You-
is.
they're real now.
You're very beautiful. I've always been real.
Well, no, last time they were kind of stuffed in as decoration, but
Oh.
now these ones are real.
That's beautiful, Almanya. That is lovely. And are you just Almanya? Is my favorite asshole in there somewhere?
Oh, she's in here. Yeah.
She's everyone's favorite.
There's this like sort of like rumbling little kind of bubbling growl that kind of comes up that like Almanya definitely isn't the one doing. And it's not like mean, there's something kind of affectionate, almost like a kind of like bubbles up a little
Believe
bit
me,
like
we wouldn't have let her go either.
I am glad, Ma. I thought that. Well, I didn't know what I thought, but
well, I'm usually
you must.
but sometimes Lily just like wants to blow stuff up, so it's fine.
Oh my goodness. You must tell me the whole story. The guard said that you'd been turned into a bird by a witch, and I thought that was
Actually,
odd.
That's exactly what happened.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Well, you must tell me the story. So did you meet her? Did you meet the matriarch, Ma?
I did. And she's lovely. She is.
We got to be
Lady
friends.
be praised.
Like our buds. We went on long walks together and
Yes,
each other.
she's very fond of Almanya, indeed.
Yeah, we got to
What
be
is-
buds.
What is she like? Where does she live?
Sing her my song. She has a really pretty house. At least, well, yeah, it is her house and her husband. She has a great husband. He's a little
has a-
wild, but we love
A
him.
very pretty husband, actually, to be perfectly honest.
Gosh.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, Lady
George is very.
I mean,
He's
not
very-
not much there, but everywhere else.
Oh, yeah. Empty brain. Empty brain, no thought.
So sort of like Oz or Guth. Where is Guth?
Oh, Talia, I was so
Oh, dear.
sorry.
Oh dear. What happened?
A giant spider
The
happened.
world, as it
World.
is.
It was.
I
It was.
know, my dear.
Sweet lady.
Yeah.
When did it happen?
Not long ago. Let's see. How long actually has it been? Because how long were we in the woad after that
Actually,
happened?
fairly close to about a week.
Yeah.
So not terribly long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so close. That's the awful thing. I mean, one moment there and one moment gone. I mean,
Quite literally.
yes.
You didn't even get to say goodbye then. It was
No.
it was like Garrett all over again.
It was. But my dear, there's something you should know about Gert as well. Something Guth knew that he did tell us.
What?
Do you remember the blood priest, the
Yes, Hemotarch Destin. Of course
resurrection?
I remember him. He haunts my dreams. So,
Gert was raised and taken with him.
what?
We didn't see it, only Guth saw it. It was at the end of that fight. We don't know where he is or why he was taken by these people. The matriarch was deeply upset by it. He was one of her own, of course, as you are.
Well, if she failed to protect him, then that's on her, isn't it?
She was not there. She is only one girl. And she is a girl.
A girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Explain,
I-
Ma.
I'm older than her.
Well, not to take this, don't take this the wrong way, Almania, but you're a bird. How does that work?
Well, technically, it's true, Amani. Your body is very young indeed. But
That's
he,
how long I get to live as a bird. Man, nothing like existential crisis over porridge in the morning, huh? Yeah, no, she was younger than me when I was a dragonborn too. Less years.
So, the great leader,
but
of
she
the
is,
Order of the Moon Maiden is a girl.
but she is blessed.
Indeed.
Believe me,
Tell
I've
me.
seen her do things no one else. It's real. What she has is real, as far as I can tell. What she has is. And what you have is true. And I
Of
don't
course
say
what
that.
I have is true. I mean, the lady has been with me for a very long time now. Of course it's true. She speaks to me sometimes.
I'm glad.
Oh.
I wanted to assure you because I know it didn't start out that way for you.
Misunderstandings. That's all.
Yes, and although she is a girl, I trusted her.
That is remarkably generous of you, Ma. So tell me about her. What did she do?
Well, she,
What sort of powers did she show you? I'm just excited, because I want to learn as well. So,
well, by all appearances, she was a healer in many ways.
is she the one that turned Almania into the bird?
Oh no, that was a witch.
But
We had to
but we
A lot of money too. Oh.
Did. It was worth every penny, Elmania dearie.
Yeah.
the
I
story
love
that
there's like ruffle and all like the colors.
but the rumors that we chased out of Anishur that brought us to Westashire and then took you onwards, they were of this cleric of Silhaloon who was able to bring people back to life. Where does
Yeah.
the witch fit into that?
It wasn't. We had to go find the witch after that.
Let us simply say, Tilia, my dear, that if there's one thing I have learned in the past year, is that the world is far larger and stranger and madder than I could possibly have imagined. And we went chasing a rumor, like chasing butterflies, and it turns out it is not only the magic of faith that can work wonders.
Indeed. That is fascinating. But was she truly a witch?
Well, she was dressed like one,
Pretty witchy.
covered in leaves. The entire
That doesn't
yes,
sound very magic-y.
the entire
Yeah.
ritual was entirely based in the earth.
Well, that sounds odd. I
Yeah.
don't believe I've ever heard of magic coming in that way. It comes from
Well-
study and discipline or faith.
Well, you knew
I know-
Guth.
Music, but like, who's you know?
Yes,
wh-
Guth was, well, an orc. They're
Well,
different,
in a-
right?
Manner of speaking, so was the witch.
She was an orc witch.
That actually is true.
She was one of them. Yes.
Maybe more of a shaman.
By
maybe?
choice. Yes, perhaps shaman's a kinder word, which
Yeah.
has certain connotations. But she was of Guth's people, not of his exact tribe, but with his people. He trusted her, and we trusted him, and therefore we trusted her.
Fascinating. That so much to be learned.
I know. I'm so sad
Absolutely.
there.
You would have
So
loved it, Talia.
You would love to see my resurrection. It was beautiful.
The doors to
sure
the
it
inner
was.
kitchen swing open, and standing in the doorway, big circles, just dark circles under his eyes. Looks like somebody who's been up all night. Is the Lord Artyom Semvelheim.
I shoot him.
Right again.
I do not. Roll initiative.
Are you sure?
No, I do not
Now's your
shoot
chance,
him.
Sarah.
The thought
Right.
just does a little track through her mind, and
a
then
little twitch.
yeah, you know.
Amazing. As a reminder, because you guys haven't spoken to him or seen him since episode 9, young, mid to late 20s, shoulder length black hair tied back, and actually at the moment it's just kind of tied back, just very messily. Very powerfully built figure, just broad, muscled shoulders, very prominent. You know, he's got the Roman nose, just a very like arched nose, narrow chin, kind of strong jaw, and he kind of swings open the doors. Hira Mayweather, and oh, you're a bird.
Yeah. There were some problems in between there, but it's me, Omania. Hi. Sorry, I got into a bird halfway through, but it's fine.
Of course, yes. Come here.
My favorite incorruptible patron. Oh, hello.
Almanya, he gives you just a big, warm hug.
Big hug from my boy.
Releases you. Vera, he gives you a respectful nod. Does not go for the hug with you.
I would have killed him.
My lord,
he's
I told Roscoe to let you sleep. You look tired.
Yes, simply exhausted. But it's not every day that friends who went halfway across the world to resurrect another friend actually return. So
I know, right?
Just a little.
Please, sir, I must thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you have done for Talia, for her family, for her companions.
of course, I did everything possible to keep them as safe as I could. It is a mess out there.
Yes, we've seen, and kindness is in short supply.
Indeed. I will commend you on your sons, though. I offered them assistance quite early on. They have refused every offer of aid, and yet they have held strong, if any reports are to be believed.
They're don't take offense. They're independent boys. I'm sure you'll understand.
Oh, of course. Oh, no offense was taken whatsoever. As I said, I commend you on your sons. The streak of independence is quite impressive. But those are darker conversations for later. For now, tell me about your journey. What epic quest unfolded before you as you went? Why is she a bird?
Oh, wait.
A witch? Yes, exactly what we told the gods at your door. An orcish witch, or at least of their tribe, with quite remarkable magic. I have to admit, I'm a complete magical laywoman. I cannot describe it.
Yes, the arcane eludes me as well. I like to think I have a sharp mind. I keep a lot in there, but arcane magic just is not in my wheelhouse, as you might say.
I would tell
Nor
you what it
mine.
looked like, but I was dead at the time. So no part of me was there.
Dead and dead.
Yes. Yes.
Do explain.
There are two people inside of my head right now. It's quite exciting. Okay, so back when we agreed that you would be our patron, and it was great, and we signed a bunch of paperwork. That was all fantastic. Anyway, I died very soon after that. So they dragged me across the world to try and get my body back. Well, actually, no, that's an entirely different thing. Okay, they tried to drag me across the world so that they could get my soul back. The problem is that you remember our lovely cleric friend who was really into that cult?
Yes, Lyra. I hear that her followers have been somewhat thriving amidst the chaos.
Apparently so. Quite exciting for them. So what happened is we were on the boat and she decided to paint a very nasty blood circle around herself, apparently, and stab herself. And in that whole process, she put a different soul in my body. So I was walking around as a different soul while me, Amanya, was in the afterlife. I was fighting off a bunch of people, writing some music, jazzing it up as I was waiting for my friends to come back. And other version of me, her name is Liliana. She's still in here. She says hello. There's a little voice, Liliana, like, I don't say hello. I'm like, shut up. I don't care. She says hello. It's great. So she decided that maybe it would be okay if, both of us were in the same body. And she's like, that's not what happened. I go, shut up. And so he decided that we should go and find this witch shaman person who was great. She was fantastic. And they killed me again, the Liliana me who was inside of my body, and then changed my body and turned it into a different body and put both souls inside of it. So now I am two people in one body, still awesome, still fantastic, and still rocking it. So that
I
is
like
what
this for the two of you. I like that a lot. Let's use that.
I'm kind of feeling this. It's like a good little symbol here. Yes. So it's been a process, but I'm back.
That is an incredible tale, and if anyone else had told it to me, I wouldn't believe it. But then again, you're a bird, so I don't know that there's much I could reasonably disagree with.
I know, isn't it quite? This is kind of the best excuse for everything that's been going on. Is I am now a bird.
And of course, as our patron, it is entirely your right to know that in the honor of Almania, we have changed our name. Of course, this is entirely subject to Talia's approval, as of course she is still very much a member of our party. Harp and Soul.
Oh, that's
And-
lovely.
Oh, that's a much better name.
It is, isn't it? It's lovely.
Now, small point of order. I am no longer your patron. I had our contract legally dissolved. You must understand you were gone. I had no word. It was
Oh,
months and months.
Completely reasonable.
Dead.
To be fair, I
To be
died.
just.
So
Yes, of course. I do not think that the patron laws take that into account. So I don't know if your contract would have been automatically dissolved immediately or resumed upon your return.
Yeah, I was wondering.
don't think-
Not sure, but it's fine.
Not something that has ever come up before. But we can, of course, now that you're back, renew your contract, if you will. That's a conversation for later. Still, so you made it across the sea. Wonderful. Talia has told me all about journey, the strange monks on the island, Westshire. A mess that was. But
Yes.
that is where her story ends. You were heading to Vreem, but you got mixed up with the orcs. I had no idea the echoes had such powers.
Yes, it was quite remarkable. Talia has told you about who we were with in Worcestershire, who we encountered.
You encountered a number of people: the Empire, the ghouls, the filthy undead.
Indeed, yes, we did have some dealings with the legions. I'm sure she told you. Of course. And they were most helpful, as the legions
Yes,
tend
she,
to be, if you know what I mean.
Indeed, she brought a few of them back, and while the Empire is something we must discuss, I must say, for smaller jobs and in small numbers, the Vremans are quite useful.
So the gentlemen and ladies in question are here with you. The Vremans that Miss Talia returned with.
Oh yes. Oh, they have been incredibly helpful.
Well, I'm glad to see you're getting along. It worried me. I don't like to see friends in conflict, friends of mine in conflict. I'm glad that you are supporting each other.
Indeed. Like I said, in small numbers, delightful people. Simply
agree.
strange but lovely senses of humor. I will say, the conversation turns and turns again to just unpleasant subjects. Talia says that the Empire has ambitions and may have had something to do with the destruction of Worcestershire in the first place. I had hoped that you would have information about whether they intend to come here in larger numbers, because if that were the case, things would be dire indeed. We have much work to do internally regardless. They
Yes,
arrive, I'm not sure how we would resist them.
I agree entirely.
Forewarning would be useful.
And I'm very sorry to say that the Vremans, I'm sure you have, now that you've been in contact with them one-on-one, they're cagey at best.
And
Always so
nosy.
distrustful, Ma.
Very, very nosy. Had to take some quick steps to make sure that they would not be getting access to too sensitive information that they could then transmit back to their legions. It's been
Perfectly
tricky
understand.
keeping them employed, while also not giving them too much away to them.
Absolutely. But they also are very protective of their own secrets. And we were, frankly, mere auxiliaries. We were never on the path to citizenship. Merely had permission as resident aliens, if you understand.
Of course, I know that you and Elmania and your friends are all patriots of Onashur. You would not,
Absolutely.
you, of course, make friends as you need them, but to declare allegiance to an enemy of the city would be
Never.
too far, I would assume, for any of you.
Absolutely.
course.
But the Vremans, well, frankly, they do not share information with people who do not share back, which we refuse to do. So we were simply, again, auxiliaries, Jaegers, as they called us. So they did not share information with us or their plans, I'm afraid.
I mean, I'll be honest, Mom. I I if they didn't have their sights set on Onisher, I think it would. I'm I can only be convinced that they do at this point.
Is this a sleight of hand to, are we sitting?
Yeah, sitting around a very small table.
Okay, can I sleight of hand step very gently but firmly on Almania's foot?
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand.
Oh no, it's not great. Wait, I don't think that was even in the tray.
It wasn't in the
It didn't
tray.
roll.
Haha, maybe this will be better then. It is. It's so much better.
23. Elmania, you feel Vera's foot firmly step on your own, and you definitely get like a bit of a look from her, and you recall that you are under oath not to declare the aims of those two legions.
Oh,
So
yeah.
revealing, for instance, that there is a legion currently traversing the Woad on its way to conquer some of the two cities of the Northern Alliance. Yeah,
But you know,
should not reveal that. Now,
then again,
what you just did, Elmania, was not that. You declared a very reasonable personal opinion that, given what you know of the Empire, you can only assume that Onisher is on the list. So
okay.
you skirted the line right there, but just a
Okay.
reminder so that we don't need to spend another 30 episodes going to Vreem to get your oath, to redeem yourself, get the penalties removed.
Oh my god. But stop and go. Then again, you know, I think they were also talking about like going far out west, like past the sea. I don't know if maybe they're just like they need to expand like really far out, or yeah, honestly, like
Their
I-
ambitions are intense. Certainly, that's one thing we learned.
so many strong thoughts and opinions on all sorts of different places. Like some people want to go up north, some people want to go south. Like that's like it makes me wonder, like, were the higher ups even like talking to the people who we were with at all, or was everybody just kind of like doing their own thing?
So, in other words, Counselor, I'm afraid to say we don't have information for you, and I am sorry for that. As you say, we are patriots.
Indeed, it is, while not direct intelligence that would be useful, Elmania, I trust your opinion. If you think that we will at someday stand in the path of the Empire, that is something to add to the long list of things to do yet.
Oh, I'm
But,
sure we're helping fill up so many more parts of your list of to-dos.
Yes, as you have said already, we certainly have more pressing issues at hand
Indeed.
than external issues.
Well, you know, there's no point in fighting battles we know we can't win, right? That's what I keep saying, my lord. Yes.
Indeed.
And borrowing trouble from tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you. There. Which brings us to yet more distasteful aspects of conversation. So, you, I assume, are here to save your city. Yes? You wish to join in the effort.
To be perfectly honest, I had simply heard that Talia might be here, and I needed to see if she were alive. But absolutely, my loyalties lie with this city.
I'm trying to find my family, but
Yes, Almania's in rather the same
Yes,
position
I
as Talia.
I had extended hospitality to them as well. However, the embassy claimed prior right, and it is my understanding that they have evacuated and returned to the hegemony.
it's the time for their trials. It would have been my trials too. But I was dead at the time when my trials started. So it is, I'm walking a very fine loophole currently.
And you're no longer Dragonborn, which helps.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Ma. What I was going to say.
So there's a lot of loopholes that I'm currently slipping through.
That may be one of those instances in which you should try not to convince them that you are indeed Almania.
Yes, but I also need to find a way to get them back without anything happening to them. So
But
Yes.
well, Almania, I
Well, I'm
understand.
afraid
That
there will be.
after you, my lord.
No, by all means.
Well, I simply wish to remind Almania that she and I were kindred spirits in the Disappointed Mothers Club, and that her family are probably acquitting themselves quite well, since they
I don't think my mother was
actually.
ever. I don't think my mother was ever really that disappointed in me, personally. She was more worried that I was going to fail my trials, which is less of a disappointment and more of a, oh God, my daughter could die. So a little bit different, but it's more that I'm afraid for my little brother, especially my baby brother. Because I was dead, he took the place of me in my trials, and my little brother isn't particularly athletic. He's very smart. My little brother is very, very smart. And
I remember Endon. He's
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah. And so they took him in my place. And I really wish that they hadn't done that. But now I'm worried that they'll just crush him. So
Well, I'm sure he can acquit himself very well, and I am certainly not in a position to judge, having traveled across the sea to save my own baby brother. So I understand, Amania.
I'm not worried about Kfisa or Tulsha. They've been training for a long time, and Kfisa is an excellent swordsman, and I have full confidence that he'll do very well. And Tulsha could bullshit her way through any trials, no matter how badly she failed. She would just spout some rhetoric and be fine. But Endon's a little harder, so makes me worried. Talia, how is your brother? You were really concerned about him when we left, and you came back here. How are your siblings?
They're fine. I mean, obviously, Lorban is still missing, but we knew that already.
What ended up happening? What caused you so much worry about them?
I'm not entirely sure. You know, the ladies' messages get mixed sometimes, I think, as they
Messages from other people?
perhaps, but you know, it was good for me to come home, and Samvalhain has been very kind, and he took my family in and fulfilled everything that I'd asked him to do. So everything is
Where are they now? Are they
very
just?
lovely.
Yes, I was about to ask if we could see them.
I
Your
wanted to know.
mother was very kind to us.
And your sister was training with my older brother, and I wanted to see how well that had gone.
Well, I didn't have time to call them before you were here, so I'm sure they're busy. But
Well,
we
I'd
can
love
see
to.
about arranging for them to meet
Yeah.
up with us later. Yeah.
I'd love to see them at some point.
Well, we're going to move to the larger kitchen if we're going to accommodate so many. But of course, you should know your friend Cora and her family are here as well. I of course extended hospitality to all of those that you alerted me to.
That's good.
And
It's
your
very kind.
Cormier's friend.
His roommate.
I don't know
Oh,
that there's many what you would call friend, but that mercenary gentleman that was living with him.
yes.
He's here as well. I don't know if you were acquainted.
A little, barely, but acquainted. Sure, that's a good word.
I'm sorry to continue to bring up, well, what sounds like business, but it's surprising to me, having seen the rest of the city, how you have the resources to care for all these people. I mean, it's marvelous, and I mean, this wonderful food. How is it possible?
Well, preparation first of all. Stocking up when things are going well is always a good idea. In
Cool.
case things go badly, and we have plenty of private storage on the estate here. As you may have seen when you came in, what did you think of my garden as well? Fresh fruits.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. I think it's better than when we left, and with the way everything else is going, that's incredible.
Indeed. I believe all of the noble families have a cache or two of their own hidden here and there. And frankly, it's quite difficult to, for those of us with a more philanthropic bent, it's quite difficult to get it anywhere through the city.
Yes, understandable.
We still haven't had any luck on the coffee front, of course, but some things are just beyond.
Man, if you managed to start growing coffee, I'm sure the revolution would be over. I'm sure everybody would be happy once everybody had coffee.
I must admit that when your friend Talia came back, the joy of her return was embittered only by the lack of coffee.
Oh, I bet that was rough. Talia, whatever have you been doing? How have you
Well,
survived?
I did my best, but we lost a lot of things on the ship.
Indeed. I had so hoped.
Well, not that there was much in Worcestershire anyway.
Sadly, cannot justify the expense in times like this that it would require to get it myself.
Well, it seems almost that these wonderful gardens of yours can grow anything. Did I see some sort of I don't know, a hydroponics? It's very misty, even though the weather doesn't allow for it. It's some sort of watering system.
Yes, some have theorized that something coming up from the sewers has caused it.
Oh, that's
Something's producing heat.
It's not exactly known, with all of the experts and the guilds nearly destroyed.
And the verminositors.
There are very few, and the verminositors, there are very few remaining with the expertise to identify something that might emanate mist.
Sounds like
or, as you
magical.
say, heating the sewers and, yes, causing the mist to come out of them, I suppose. I'm sure there's some fancy civil engineering term.
Clearly a yet another matter of concern on your to-do list. I can see why you are quite worn out. You have my sympathies.
Indeed. Shall we speak? I really must get my rest. Shall we speak business now, or would you like to spend time with your other friends? I can bring them. We can move over to the lounge, and I can have them sent for. Or would you like to spend time with them and then speak business?
Please get your rest. We'd be happy to see the people we've missed. Thank you. It's very kind.
Indeed. All right. Well, perhaps business tomorrow then.
Business tomorrow.
Yes.
I will have Rufus fetch them.
Oh, I'm so sorry, my lord, if I may, I have just remembered. We did have to leave quite a substantial portion of our party outside these gates. Is there any way that they could perhaps be sheltered if they do arrive before daylight ends?
A number of laws of passage have been passed, and I'm afraid cost me a couple of tokens of goodwill to get two non-clients into the district in the first place.
Understandable. We can send them elsewhere. I can direct them somewhere else.
Once we have reestablished a formal relationship, of course, you would be granted free passage into and out of the council district. But until then, I'm afraid I might incur the wrath of some of the other counselors, and in times like these, we walk a narrow path.
Indeed. Thank you.
Entirely.
Well,
And then
thank you for your time. Please, Talia, I apologize.
I simply was going to ask how many of your party you left behind, and see if perhaps we might be able to send some help their way should they need it, in order to get back to where I presume you have safe holdings, Mrs. Fairweather?
Very thoughtful.
Yes, very
If
kind.
you would, when you are finished speaking with your friends, of course, you are all former responsibilities, of course, dissolved. You may adventure once again with your friends, and I shall keep your family safe.
Oh, my lord, you misunderstood me.
Sorry.
I was wondering about the immediate safety of Ma's friends in the city, if
Indeed.
they might be helped.
Feel free to transmit such information to Rufus, and I will bid you farewell. I apologize.
Yes,
I am
please rest.
exhausted.
Please.
Of course.
A friend can show you around and answer your questions. He rises with a flourish, then heads out of the room. So yes, I'm sorry, Talia, you were asking questions.
No, that's all I was trying to do, is see if he would be willing to send a guard out with the contingent out in the city.
That's what he's doing. He's essentially giving you and Rufus the authority to do that.
Okay.
So, Ma, how strong are these friends of yours? It is still early. Do you think they'll be all right? Midday is usually, it's nighttime that's the worst.
Yes, I agree. I find them quite capable. It was merely a contingency. Should something come up, they are delivering one of their number to another neighborhood. So.
Would you like me to send some guards with them? Would that ease your mind?
Actually, what would rather more ease my mind is communication of some kind with them. Just send them a quick note that we're fine, and when they are finished with their task, they can go back to where we last stayed, and they should be fine.
A note we could probably do. Unfortunately, I fear that I have gained a new spell that gives me the ability to speak to someone within reasonably close proximity of me, but unfortunately not with someone so far afield.
Right. So would perhaps Mr. Roscoe be able to provide a runner?
Yes, I can certainly send him with a message.
Wonderful. Do you mind if I quickly jot that down?
Not at all.
So I'm just going to write a note. I'll write it to Show.
Okay.
And just say, but I don't trust him not to open it.
Doing great! Exclamation point.
Trust a runner of the Lord Samvelheim?
I am like full of heebie-jeebies right now that you wouldn't believe.
Ma, would you feel better if I encoded it for you?
Oh, no, I'm not saying any of this out loud to you. I'm sorry, Talia.
Okay.
I'm very sorry. So that was Grace talking to herself. So I'll just jot a quick note and say, Show, this is Ma. All fine here. We'll be in touch. Just head back to the I keep thinking the stacks. That's not what it's called. Slacks.
Slacks.
Yes.
But were you wanting her to, like, do you want them to take Damia and to the place where she was supposed to go first? Because that's part of our goal. Okay.
Yes.
It's
That's where they're headed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, Vera, you can't really give precise directions to where to take the message.
I know the address, though. I mean, I know the street address where they were going.
I guess she would have described where they were going. So yeah, you can give them that location, and the runner catch them there or get there ahead of time.
Again, for clarification, it's more like I do not want those people to come here. I want them to go straight back to
The show this is Mom. All fine here. We'll be in touch. Head back to the Slacks.
Yeah, when you're ready, head back to the Slacks. We'll be in contact. Yeah, I don't want them in this place.
Alrighty.
Oh, can I actually add to that note since it's going to show? Is if you have the time and ability, message me tonight when you're safe. Because she has that spell.
She does.
Yeah. So essentially, when she gets to the slacks and she's safe, she should call me, and we can at least talk for 25 words about this privately.
I can't believe sending is only a 3rd level spell.
I know, right? It's so powerful.
I just need to level up in Bard and I can have sending. And I
So close.
I
Good.
know.
That message is given to Rufus. You guys are ushered into kind of the familiar, just big room with all of the nice couches and chairs. And a number of people start to filter in. Cormier's friend Magazal is just kind of, I don't really know any of you, but I'm here. Cora is not here right now, but her mom is.
With
Mom,
her fixed tail.
yes, comes out and she is. I mean, you guys never really interacted with her, but she is as kind of quiet and meek as ever. Talia's dad is also not here, but her mom, brother, and sister all come out. I always get. Talia, I cannot keep your sibling. Barris is the sister.
Barrett and Brennis. Barrett is the brother. Brennis is the sister.
Got it. Yeah. Brennis and Barrett are there, and her mom all come out, and are their normal, lovely selves.
Yay.
Are there any specific conversations you guys wanted to have with them, or just kind of spend a little bit of time among friends?
I wanted to talk to Brennis about like how her sword training was going because my brother was teaching her how to use a sword, and I wanted to know how that was going.
You see that there is definitely some toned muscle in her arms and build. She's definitely been working out, and she carries a wooden sword just everywhere, just like a sparring sword. Not like a toy wooden sword, but like a genuine sparring sword. And she tells you just all about the lessons and the drills, and it's awesome. And your brother's really cute, and it's awesome.
I'm like, heck yeah.
Are you tipping it?
So proud.
Honestly, Brennis was a disaster before your brother, Amania. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm sure it was really great practice for my brother actually to have to teach somebody who wasn't me. I'm sure he had a good time too. This is so good. It's good. It's like it warms Almania's heart to hear about her brother. Just like, oh, she hasn't seen him in so long. It's just like, oh my gosh, I miss him.
May I talk to Talia's mom for a sec? And is there any way, I know this is sort of a big group, to kind of, not obviously trying to, like, I need to have this secret conversation, but just, have a side conversation with her?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely a loud conversation about sword fighting and sisters and whatnot happening there. Barrett is playing by himself, just with, stuff in the room. So yeah, no, it's not too difficult to just kind of draw her slightly aside.
I just wanted to ask if you and your family are well. You seem it, and I'm glad to see it. But you're happy here.
Thanks to the Lord Samvelhain, we have remained safe. Wish we could bring more to the safety of the council district, but my daughter's contract with Samvelhain only extends so far.
Yes, I understand. To speak the truth, speaking as a mother, and now to a mother, I know we have. Let us simply say that we would never consciously keep our children in an unsafe place. And that's why I wanted to ask you if your instincts are strong, that this is where you should be. You and your children should be.
Can't think of any other place except maybe an entirely different city. One that
Yes.
isn't suffering such terrors.
And if all else failed, would you take that choice? If you could be in another city, if you could be in a different part of the continent, would you take it?
Of course, if it kept my children safe.
Plan Z. Plan Z. Plan Z.
Testing the waters of Plan Z, yes.
Get everyone we love together and
Just get
just
them out.
fuck it. Just
Go to an island. Clear
Build
the
a
island
wall.
down. Build a wall on the island.
Remember when I was
And,
pitching like campaign ideas, and I was like, okay, guys, like one of the ideas I have is like experimental new colony. You guys could be like out there like trying to build, and you guys were like, no, that sounds dumb. And I'm like, I feel like that's where we're headed now.
Well, it's interesting because I'll say to her, so you would leave ownership behind. I mean, you would leave everyone else behind. And I'm not judging your decision. In fact, that's exactly what I would do. But would you?
We have, of course, neighbors and friends, and I'm sure my husband would wish to bring some. But as you may know, and she kind of draws back her ears behind. She's a full elf. She kind of draws back her hair to reveal kind of the pointed ears. Some of us have never truly been welcome. While it might be sad. Honestly, I think what I would miss most is my my little shop and office where I've spent so much time caring for people and spending time with my daughter. That would be hard, but otherwise, nothing that we could not move past.
Forgive me if this is a rude question. How long have you personally been in Onisha? It's hard to tell with elves. I mean, how old you are.
Since shortly before my first was born. Talia, Lorban's older than you, right?
Yes,
Okay.
he's the
and,
oldest. Well, and then Elville is also older than me.
and
Right,
about
so
how
older
old is
sibling.
Lorban?
30-ish.
30-ish? Okay.
Yeah.
So, little over 30 years.
But she had been orphaned and raised by a human family, kind of.
Mhm.
Mom had, yeah.
So, I suppose the reason I'm asking, I had a and I'm sure you've had them too. I had a rather difficult conversation with my son, where I suggested that, as in we take what is ours, we take our people, and we go. And he made me realize that I don't know if I could. That my responsibilities might be larger than that. But I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I appreciate your ear. You're a good listener.
Sometimes those who have ailments, that's all they truly need, and tea and a good ear.
Yes. But I'm glad to know that there's at least some support for that idea to just go.
Of course, but I'm sorry to ask, where would you go and how would you get there? I know there have been no caravans. It feels like years now.
Yes, it's a dream, but I don't know. I thought if there were enough of us, and if there were enough of us to frighten away the darkness outside, perhaps we could go as a caravan of our own.
Well, then you would not take just friends and family. You would take armed guards and soldiers and mercenaries.
Anyone I could get my hands on, yes. A whole new colony.
So you would seek to set up your own place and not flee to an existing city.
Again, merely a dream, but one or the other. It's having been called in a foreign place a refugee. I smarted at the term, but was so terribly accurate. And I think that if I were to leave between one choice and another, I'd rather make something of our own, something on Ashurian, but that not being a choice, then I would go somewhere established and accept that we would be refugees.
Well, if you decide to do so, I will speak with my husband. Let me know what the plan is.
Again, merely a thought, and perhaps I might even bring it up with his lordship. Again, the conversation with my son made me realize that it might be harder to leave people behind than I might have originally thought. And if we were to go, everyone alive out of this city should go.
Why, Mom? A heart?
That would be quite an undertaking. But yes, you should speak to the Lord about it. We would need tremendous supplies.
Yes, again, it's a dream. But it seems to me there are two choices. It's either stay or go. And if we stay, we have a long fight. And if we go, we have a long fight. It's which fight we decide to take.
Indeed.
But it cannot go on as it has.
Indeed.
But again, thank you for hearing me.
Sorry, if you said something
have a
before, thank you
gift.
for hearing me, you're gonna need to repeat it. My audio connection cut out for a minute.
Oh, that's all I said.
Okay.
And that she has a gift.
Yes, oh, got it. Thank you. All right. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to accomplish here?
Oh, I gotta say hi to Cora's mom and, just like introduce myself again as, hi, I was a dragon before, I'm a bird now, it's fine, don't worry about it. Bormir's buddy, I've probably met him in passing once, and I'm just like, heck yeah, man, I'm very charismatic, I'm very social, I'm just having a good time.
Someone had told me that you had become a bird. I wasn't sure if they were joking or not.
Yeah, it's a very long story, but yes, I did become a bird.
All right.
I'm just sort of following in the wake of everyone, like a good hostess does at a cocktail party. I have a little piece of copper wire. I'm just kind of twiddling it in my fingers as we go around, and I'm just making sure everyone's having a good time and doing what they need to do. And I'm a little nervous about the fact that Vera's staying over there talking to my mom, because that can't end well for me.
I get chastised when I get home tonight. I pull out my lute and play some music too for people, see how the vibe is around the party. But just entertaining, like having a good time.
You guys spend an hour or so chatting and having a good time. And Vera, I don't know if stress is going out of you at all, but certainly Talia and Almanya, right? Just kind of friends are back. We're back home. We're
My
safe.
antenna are just like
Vera's just.
Oh, Almanya's observing too. Almanya's just much better at just being like, yes, everything's great. Let's have a party, while also like observing people very closely. But she's also just like Almanya knows how to observe people by throwing a party.
yes.
Okay.
Actually, should I roll deception for this? Because I'm not like broadcasting that I'm flipping out. And in fact, I'm trying very hard not to broadcast that I'm flipping out. I'm trying to look like Almanya right now.
Yeah. You're trying to look like
I'm trying to be
gotcha.
as calm and happy to see everybody as Almanya is.
That depends. Are you trying to pick anything up or simply conceal?
Both.
Okay, give me a deception and a perception check.
Alrighty. So I'm feeling for vibes and trying to prevent people from seeing that I'm feeling for vibes. So deception is 16. And perception 18.
Okay. Actually, I'm sorry, not perception, but insight.
Oh dang.
So, I'm sorry, the 9, but then just wisdom and
15 then.
15. Okay. All right, 16 and 15. Yeah. You're not picking up anything weird. And you're pretty confident that you're hiding it well.
Okay.
You've been pretty rattled by recent events and encounters and conversations. You feel like you're keeping it together pretty well.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass by Ma, like strumming at my lute, humming some words, and I'm gonna pass by her and say, like, anytime you want to know information, just let me know. And then just like drift on by with my
I'll
lute.
just wink at her as she goes by. Because at this moment, I'm sorry to say, Almanya is the only person in this room I trust. Other question: did Almanya eat the food?
I did not. I didn't eat any of the porridge because I noticed you weren't eating any of the porridge, so I didn't touch it.
You guys were offered
I didn't either.
porridge and you just left it there?
I'm sorry, I did not eat it.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be 100% honest. Mary hates oatmeal, so Almanya probably don't like porridge very much.
Actually, sorry if this is retconning, but can I have maybe sleight of handed that away, as in essentially into my pocket?
A bowl of oatmeal?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, how sticky is it?
It's oatmeal.
Yes, but it's like
or is it? Yep. I'm no, it's more like that fake thing when you're faking that you're eating and you're just getting rid of it. But I also don't want to waste food. Yeah, it's going in the pocket.
Oh, well, if I saw you, I was probably eating food too.
What you're telling me is that best case scenario, if you roll well on this, one of your pockets of your fresh new Kingrave robe dress is filled with oatmeal.
That's the best.
If you do that, I am going to eat oatmeal.
Like best case scenario.
Yeah. Because if I saw you even like attempting pretending, I would have taken that as a sign of like, okay, let's eat. It's breakfast.
Vera, give me a sleight of hand check.
Okay, maybe not a pocket, but do we still have our travel gear with us?
I've been carrying around that bag of holding, yeah.
Just give me the sleight of hand check just to see what happens.
Dimension of a porridge.
Porridge in a
Trust
pocket.
me, I put food in weird. Oh no, everybody saw me. If someone calls me out on it, I'll be like, I'm hoarding food, okay?
So Talia, Almanya, you both notice at various points in the conversation, Vera like taking a handful of not a handful, like a spoonful of oatmeal and like, and then like trying to use the reflection in her glass to like catapult it into her bag, like on the chair behind her, just like.
When
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
see them see me, I'm just going to say, look, I need to get some food out of
So-
here somehow.
so
I
I-
saw the slacks.
So that's what they see. I don't know how they've reacted yet. So you might
you
not be
gotta
aware that they've noticed, but you both definitely noticed. So would either of you have reacted to that?
Then I probably did eat at some point. Then yeah, I probably ate the porridge.
Almania, it was delicious. It was oatmeal with cinnamon and blueberries and honey in it. It was, and the blueberries were fresh. Like, it was damn good.
I'm like, Almania like sits there like kind of shocked, like, I don't think I've had fresh berries since we were in Vreen. This is very bizarre. As I'm like slowly kind of skeptically watching Ma like fling oatmeal into her bag. I'm like,
And then if so Talia notices this, she's just gonna smirk a little bit. And as she walks past Vera, she'll just say, if you want some food to take home, all you have to do is ask, Ma.
I didn't. Well, I don't want to impose, and I don't know what the supplies are like.
I will
And I'm
make sure I will
not
speak.
hungry.
Ma. I had forgotten how very much I missed you. I will speak with Samvalhain and see if he can arrange to have some food sent with you.
That's
Actually,
very,
I won't
kind.
disturb him right now. I'll just speak with Roscoe. It'll be fine.
it's very kind of you. It's believe me, having just seen the neighborhood that I left, you might understand if I feel guilty eating unless I am starving in this place, and I am not yet at that point.
I understand, Ma.
And since you know where I came from, the kinder someone is to me, the less inclined I am to trust them.
I thought we had started to overcome that, though. You and I had made headway, had we not?
We had, and you're lovely, and I believe every lovely thing you've said or did. But you know better than most the grip past experience can have on one, yes?
Of course. You're certain Leontia didn't give you my letter?
I'm going to be perfectly honest. Grace is very dumb, and it's been a long time.
Leontia did not give you a letter.
Okay, I thought not, but I wanted to double check.
That was one of the things that one or several of the party were like, I'm gonna secretly ask this Raymond to do this, and I was like, no, they don't want that message passed.
Oh dear.
Leontia did not
yeah.
give you a letter.
No, I'm sorry, Tilly. I didn't receive it. But there was a lot going on in those camps in the Legion. I wouldn't blame the commandant too much.
Perhaps she didn't trust me as much as I thought she did.
Again, I don't blame her. The stress of the situation was immense.
Well, that was almost offensive, Mrs. Mayweather, but never mind.
I did not mean to offend. I mean, the stress that Leontina was under.
Of course. Yes, she was under a tremendous amount of stress. That's to be expected, as was I.
But what did it say?
Oh, well, I'm sure it was simply a token of a conversation that we had. Honestly, don't remember exactly what it said at this moment.
It's all right. I understand the feeling, and believe me, I reciprocated deeply.
Just that. Well, you said some things to me that stood in marked contrast to some of the things that Leontia had said to me, and I thought that what Leontia had said to me was good things, and perhaps in retrospect they weren't as good. But I don't really talk to my lord much about the Bremans, obviously for obvious reasons, but also just he doesn't understand the value that they would have to us.
I see, and believe me, I believe I'm guilty of that too, of undervaluing what the Bremans have to offer.
Yes.
Now you guys are all coming around.
Well, remember that what comes out of Vera's mouth.
But I mean, I will say that Sanvalhain has done a stellar job in the vacuum that he has been in. And obviously, my family is here, they're safe. Cora's family is here, and Cora is safe. And I mean, when she left us, I remember this was a point of contention between us, that no one even cared when she left us. No one went looking for her, and I felt that is what would happen if I left. But you came. So
I promised
glad
I would
for that.
come.
What
And
what stuff do you have to do for Sam Valheim to fulfill your contract?
well, contracts tend to be somewhat confidential, although I have the feeling that I may have just been released from my contract. But I've done the odd bit of scribing work for him, similar to what I did for Leontia in the Bremen camp. Of course, I forgive me, Almania. I'm not sure if you have retained Liliana's memories, or if you are your own bird person that doesn't have her memories as much. But
I have all of her memories. We're chill.
I do some work for him here and there, and some scribing in return for the good things that he has given me and my family.
That's great. Good
So
thing.
point of order, you haven't been released from your contract, just all of the tasks that he had given you that were still kind of like on your list of to do things. He just cleared that.
Cool. So give me a day off.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But I'm sure that it's open to negotiation, and if you wish to reopen your contract with him, I know there's much to be done in the city, and much that, well, I mean, you all look hale and hearty, and I must say, Almania, you pluck a lute as well as you ever did.
Ah, well, thank you. Lots of practice on the road.
Flute.
I fixed it.
And I appreciate it. I think first things first, I have to find my family and make sure that everything's okay before I can agree to do anything else. And Ma said she'd come with me, so that's always good.
Well, I would love, Almania, I would love nothing more than to accompany you on a quest to find your family and restore your brother. He was quite the library buddy, wasn't he? But of course, obviously, I have to check with Templehain and make sure that,
of course, you're under.
He would give me the leave.
Yes, you have a duty now, and that's understandable. I had the same thing to repay that shaman.
Yes, you must tell me the whole story. I'm fascinated to learn. I mean, obviously, it's been hard to find the right amount of time to study as much as I used to, and library, I've read everything in there already anyway. So,
just wait till I tell you about the afterlife.
Yes, I'm all ears, as they say. I would love to hear all of it, and of course, I wish to hear more about the matriarch. And yeah, we have so much catching up to do.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, we shouldn't talk shop anymore. This is a welcome home party, so
don't worry. I will keep
enjoy.
playing. Have a good time. And I
So-
kind of like wander around playing music and having a good time and observing everybody and seeing how everyone's doing. Just like I try to make my way to like each person and talk with them a little bit and, you know, weave my way in between people. And
You reconnect. The story from here in the council district is much different. They've heard of the stuff going on out there, but the stories you get from here are more about the food riots that preceded what you hear from everybody else.
Mm.
It was kind of in the midst of the food riots before the cult started dominating and whatnot. And then you also hear about the circle, which is essentially a group in kind of the upper districts that has banded together to kill magic users.
oh joy, Cormier's work continues in his absence.
Yeah, you guys are coming back to the handiwork of Lyra and Cormier.
Oh my god.
Perfect people. Wow. Just who you want leading a group of revolutionaries.
Please tell me that their motto is better tragic than magic.
Tragic.
Tragic than magic. I have that written down.
I have it written down.
Oh, I still have the whole list on my iPad right.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
Oh, it's beautiful.
yeah. So the circle has basically been going around, and eventually, so the two groups of legally sanctioned magic users in the city, those who produce food and water, and those who purify food and water, basically had to be rounded up and brought into the council district. In fact, I think you guys witnessed the very beginning of the circle's kind of uprising when you guys were leaving, because you saw the crowd dragging that one guy out of his house.
Yeah, we did. That was awful.
It was tragic.
So yeah, you guys saw the very beginning of that. And so all of the rest of them had to essentially be rounded up and brought to the council district for protection.
What happened to the bar?
The council district has plenty to eat. And so your family and friends have all been like safe here. But yeah, the only thing they have personal experience with was kind of the food riots and the beginning of the circle, and kind of in the midst of that, they were brought into the protection of Sam Velheim.
What happened to the Bard College?
You're not sure. None of these. Yeah, none of the people here would have much to do with it.
Well, that sucks.
As a kind of random question, where the heck did we find Grady? Because he is clearly not either of those sanctioned magic groups.
No. Grady is from like the earliest of days. And I have half designed the one shot in which you and Gideon would have acquired him.
Yay. Which means, wait, that means he's like 100 years old.
He's old.
Okay, cool. Because I imagine that the underworld people would be like, screw the rules about only having two groups of magic users that are allowed to exist.
Yes. But the thing is, if you can't protect them, they
Yes,
are
exactly.
essentially enslaved. So when people come through like these cities who have any sort of magical ability, they hide it as best they can. And even those counselors who, you guys might be paying off to look the other way, would be under tremendous pressure to, from their constituents essentially, to bring pressure to bear on you guys if word got out that you guys were employing a wizard. So you guys use him very sparingly and in a very subtle fashion. Like if you're on a job with him, he's not throwing a fireball.
Right.
Because if that word got out, like you guys would there would be some unnecessary difficulties for the family.
I go like, oh, Liliana, I guess we can't throw any fireballs around. She's like, I hate you. Like, I know.
Because it certainly seems like, if anybody in our group would have manifested magical powers, we certainly would not have turned them over the last 100 years.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Well, yeah, heebie-jeebies. Like, Vera hates this. Hates it.
Welcome to jumping back in the deep end.
Oh,
You-
there's just a bunch of things.
You started in like the kiddie pool and then went somewhere else for a while and then came back and jumped right into the deep end.
No, I'm actually interested because I do want to talk to Sam Volhain some more. But I need to ask him some pointed questions.
Yeah, on that note, like as you guys are kind of gearing up to leave. I'm sorry, Mary, what were you saying?
I was saying we went from kiddie pool to deep end immediately.
I mean, that's fair.
You did kill her almost immediately.
Died in session 9.
It was an unfortunate natural 20. As you guys are kind of packing up and gearing to leave, Rufus does accost you guys as you're heading out. My lord left word that I should schedule with you when tomorrow you wish to discuss official matters.
As early as possible. I don't know about you, Armania. But certainly from...
I have a point of exhaustion.
Oh, yes, we'll sleep that off, yes.
Personally.
No, isn't that gone? Because you guys...
We did.
You guys have spent a night after the one that you guys were all in the storeroom.
Oh, okay. Then yeah.
The exhaustion's gone.
Could still use a good night of sleep.
Absolutely, I don't mean that early, but you're under time constraints.
Yes.
More deeply than the rest of us, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So shall we say 2 hours after dawn?
Yes, that sounds excellent.
All right.
So about 8 o'clock. Perhaps 9.
You guys are actually nearing, I think we're in like midsummer here. So
I thought you said we were in October.
7 or so. What was that?
I thought you said we were like the equivalent of October.
I thought we were in
October.
No, because we had our winter closed for a while.
Yeah, but no, it's been like 6 months. 6 to 8 months.
That's not what I want. Here we go.
Well, we were in Westashire in the depths of winter, weren't we?
Yeah, but we spent like 3 months in the wizard's maze.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, no, actually, you're right. You guys are a little past summer here. Seasons. Yeah, you guys are in the last month of summer.
Okay.
Or you're about to be. So yeah, late summer. Yeah. So yeah,
Is it very-
dawn's around 5:30.
Is Onashire a humid place? Is it like hot, sticky summers, or is it fairly dry? Get a monsoon season, like, and the end of the summer. What's kind of the?
You guys are like high off the water, but you are on the coast of a sea, and the wind does come from the dominant wind is from the sea, so it gets fairly humid.
Okay. Do we also get like?
You're also in a rain shadow, though. Sorry.
No, I was curious if it's so. Is it like South Bend essentially, where you're like right off the coast of like Lake Michigan, and so you get like the permacloud throughout winter because it's all like drifting off from the lake kind of thing?
No,
You mean Chicago?
you guys are closer to like even been to a whole lot of places in the United States.
What?
I mean, imagine like New England-ish.
Oh, okay.
Boston. Okay.
That, yeah, sure. Boston. Wasn't that one of the original accents you were playing around with for the family? Was a Boston one?
Well, you
That-
know, you got to think like, what are the great like crime cities? And it's
There's the
Boston.
Chicago one.
The
wasn't
Irish Mafia is
Oh.
pretty fabulous.
New
Yeah.
York, Boston.
I have gone so far down the rabbit hole of world building that I know the rotation speed of the planet.
Oh Lord.
So if ever I'm trying to give you an answer where it's like, Josh, I just wanted a short answer, and I'm just going down the rabbit hole, just stop me.
Nerd.
I wanted to know if we got like the lake effect, essentially, where, you know, like you get all of kind of the breezes off of the lake, which is like you get a lot of wind at sometimes, and then like you'll just have clouds for months because like they're just kind of hanging over the water.
It's offset by kind of the nearby mountains, and then also you guys are like 1,000 feet up from the lake.
Mhm.
So that offsets the wind.
Okay. So it's just a heavy heat, like it's a heavy, wet kind of heat.
Yeah.
Ew.
Right. What is the plan?
Does Show call me?
You guys have only been here for like an hour.
I know, but what are you asking for? Are we skipping ahead to evening? Are we?
I mean,
I
you guys are standing at Sam Velhane's doorstep.
want to know if
What's
there
your
are
plan?
any blacksmiths around here, and how much money do I have?
A lot.
You guys have a metric crap ton of money.
Sweet. So we're basically past the point of counting money, and we're just in the you can buy essentially anything. You can get a yacht if you want it kind of feel.
We're essentially in that point where it's just like when you buy things, I don't go and subtract it from your money. I write it down. And then
Okay.
after a while of that, I'll go through and do all of the subtraction.
Okay, great. I want to go see if there's any blacksmiths working around here. And I know blacksmiths because my dad was a blacksmith.
Indeed. In fact, the nearest blacksmith would have been your dad's shop.
Yeah. But I assume that my dad was probably part of a guild at some point, or like he had a lot of connections with other blacksmiths in town. I want to know if I know any of the blacksmiths who are here.
So you want to hit a blacksmith?
Yeah.
I'm going to case this place as closely as I possibly can.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just gathering information as unsnoopily as possible.
Okay. Think about how you want to do that. To Leo?
I was just going to say, I would like to accompany them if I am able to do so.
Yeah,
I
you've
assume
been
I have
absolved
the night
of
off,
your
so
immediate
yeah.
duties. So yeah.
So if Vera is going to allow it, Talia will be happy to accompany you guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
So talk to me about casing this place.
What I mean by casing is just to go around, because we haven't spent a lot of time on this estate. I mean, we've walked into the door twice. So to just go around, how big is the estate? You know, how big are the gardens? Where is all this stuff he's talking about coming from? And just giving a sense of space and location. And just keeping an eye out for weirdness.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm deeply unsettled by this place, and I'm looking for justification for that instinct. Also, if Talia is with me, I'll just be watching for her reactions to things, I guess. And
Okay.
also, you can be my guide. I'll ask you questions about them, though. So
She's definitely developed this nervous tick where she's just constantly has like a little piece of wire that she's
notice
just fidgeting with constantly. But other than that, yeah.
So I don't have a precise measurement on the size of the estate.
Come on, Josh. You know the rotation speed of the world?
Well, actually, I mean, I could tell you, but I'm going to have to sit here and count 5-foot boxes for like a minute. Do we want to waste that time? Couple 100 feet. It's a fairly regular box shape estate. One main building. There are three entrances. One, like, kind of, if you're standing on the street looking at the estate, there's about a thin 10-foot hedge that runs around the entire perimeter. There's kind of a fountain on the walkway as you go up to the main doors. There's a big garden off to the right that kind of extends all the way from the hedge to the beginning of the house. And it looks like there's a little gardener's entrance into and out of the house, but in the garden. And then there's also a little gardener's shed. Over to the left, kind of along the western kind of hedge, all the way up and down, there's a long track that looks like it has like practice dummies and archery targets, and then also looks like it has been like torn up by hooves. And you can see what looks to be a small stable kind of in the north west corner of the estate. And then pretty much all of the rest of it is dominated by the house. It's a beautiful structure. It is primarily stone with gorgeous woodwork around the windows. There are exterior windows pretty much everywhere except kind of the very front. There's a few over the garden, and then kind of just around the. Oh no, there are windows there. So yeah, most of the walls have various windows of differing size. And then there's another entrance into the main house around the corner. Kind of those are the three entrances. So the main one, the gardener's entrance, and then one that opens up kind of straight towards the stable. What else are you looking for?
And is the entire estate walled, or is that the council district is walled?
The council district is walled. The estate has a large hedge.
Is hedged.
That
Okay.
separates it out from the street, but there are streets that run along all sides.
So what abuts this estate? Is it other councilors' estates?
Yeah, they're fairly spread out. There's a lot more open space in the council district. So its general pattern is estate, streets all around, and then some open grass, some small groves here and there, and then kind of another estate a little ways off.
Okay. I'm just gonna, so get a sense of the topography here and just get quietly angrier and angrier and angrier, because every square foot of empty space could have a refugee in it, safe from ghouls. And I'm starting to get some very uncharitable thoughts towards the council.
Okay.
In their ivory tower up here, while my city is starving.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of feelings right now.
I love that Vera, like, as she's walking around, it's just like, how do I bring all of this crashing down?
That's not necessarily what she's thinking. It's more like, how do I bring everybody who's out there crashing in here where they will be safe?
I mean, that's fair, yeah.
Which is different.
Mhm.
It's more like, what the heck is the council even doing to help Anishir if this is how they're living right now?
From what you see, not much, except protecting themselves.
Yep. That's why I'm angry. Having just, again, said to my children, like, we can find a way to just leave, and they said, no, we're not leaving our people here.
I am curious.
That hit hard.
I'm curious if you talk to your kids, if what Sam Vilhane said was true, if he offered them help that they didn't take.
I know. I haven't, there's no way to have contact with them at the moment.
I'm curious.
I'm hoping,
if he was like, I could give you stuff, and they said no. Like, that would be very interesting, and I feel like very telling about kind of like where the divide lies. Is it a divide of independence, or is it a divide of like, no, he didn't actually say that to us, and so he's just like trying to get you to do things. Like, I find that interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Sho to ask if she can.
Good plan.
But because it could just be stubbornness on all sides.
Great. Anything else you're looking for while you're there?
Can I, without again looking like I'm doing it, just be looking at the wall to the council district and familiarizing myself heavily with its guard structure and defenses.
Okay. You've seen a few servants inside. The only obvious defenses that you see on the outside are the two guards in just hulking plate right at the entrance to the hedge.
Right. I meant the council district wall, the big wall.
I'm so sorry. The district itself. The walls are heavily patrolled. Give me a perception check.
Sure. Ooh.
29.
I know all of the things.
On a natural 20. Oh boy. All right. Let me see if there's any goodies I can give you with a roll of 29. So immediately, it is very wrong map. There we go. It is very heavily patrolled. So similar to what you saw kind of down in the city, only these are all clearly members of the city watch and guard. Typically the watch is kind of internal order, and then the guard actually walks the walls and keeps an eye out for external threats. Both are being mixed here to guard the walls that face into the city instead of out of the city. Okay. It does look, you guys are just walking from there. There is, are you looking at a map of the city at the moment?
Which one would be the most useful?
Doesn't matter. Either would work. So if you see, there's that really big building inside its like own enclosure within the council district.
Yes.
So that's the old palace, and now the just kind of council meeting chambers. But as you kind of pass there, you can see there is kind of a fairly dense grove in there. But you do notice that while the interior walls are heavily patrolled, the exterior walls are not. There is a presence, but it's very light.
Sorry, which do you mean by interior and exterior?
So the walls that look out over the city, very heavily patrolled. But right. If you see the wall that borders, you can see the river that runs into and then under the city. Okay. Like that whole wall there is very sparsely guarded.
Okay, so but that's a sheer drop, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. There's a cliff underneath the wall, and then that drops fairly sheerly down into the river.
Alrighty, and the nearest actual exit from the city itself is where? Land exit.
Land exit from the city to where you are right now?
Yeah, the closest one.
It's actually fairly close. If you guys just left the council district and then walked for about 5 minutes south, you would hit it.
The council district faces south. I'm confused. You mean there is an exit from the council district to the outside world?
No, you guys would have to leave the council district. So I wish we were in person, because then I could just point. So if you see where the Halben, the name, if you look at the Mayweather map, if you see Halben.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the overall map. Right.
I mean, either would work. But.
So is it in the cataracts?
Yeah, it's out of the Cataract District. You see the road?
Oh,
that
is it
against
just?
the wall?
Yes, now I see it. Alrighty. So it's right on the border of the council and the cataracts.
Yes. But it
All right.
runs along the council district sits about I think about 50 feet above the Cataract District.
Okay, so you would go downhill and then you'd hit the wall of the council district. And in that wall, there's also a gate that goes out of the city entirely.
Yeah, essentially what you would be looking at is, as you're walking towards that gate, on your right, there would be a big cliff that goes way up. And then on top of it, the wall to the council district. And you would just kind of follow along that cliff with the cataract on your left, and you would hit the gate.
Okay. And so there's no way to go sort of directly from the council district to that gate.
Correct.
All right.
I mean, you could hop off the council wall. But,
or rappel.
Or
That's
I mean, or you could get on that exterior, that wall that faces out into the wilderness in the council district, and then you could walk down it, and then down a staircase directly to the gatehouse.
Oh, that's intriguing. You mean the not so heavily guarded wall?
Correct.
Cool. Again, Vera always looks for an escape route. I apologize, audience. This is me trying to give a sense of place.
That's the kind of question you need to ask in my campaign, and
Yep.
And it just takes a little longer because we're online. So
yes, okay.
All right, so you have cased the hell out of the place.
Okay.
And are we heading to a blacksmith?
Mary, you are muted, love.
You are muted.
Apologies. Yes, we are headed to a blacksmith. Because I have snail shell that I want to turn into bracers.
At last.
I know.
Did you give you gave what, half of it to Callista?
She gave the big pieces to Callista. She kept the small pieces.
I kept the small pieces so that I could make just bracers. I wasn't gonna make a full set of like heavy armor. I just wanted like little.
Okay.
Because Liliana really wants them, and she was the one who spent forever getting flail snail shell and like wanting to look pretty, like a little rainbow, like a creamy pastel rainbow girl. And I want to honor that. It's been a very long time.
Okay. You.
I'm curious if I can find a blacksmith who I know. Not because of, like, getting a discount or anything like that, but because like I want to go to somebody who I know and trust to take care of this material.
Give me a raw intelligence check.
Ooh, raw intelligence. It's not gonna be good. I'm not very intelligent, but that's okay. 16, not terrible.
Your dad might have some knowledge of how to work with a material like this.
Mm-hmm.
None of the local smiths that you know or would have interacted with can do anything with magic.
Okay. Well, shoot, I got all excited. Oh well.
You can look around for somebody who might, but based on what you know of the culture of your city, anybody who knows how to magically infuse anything or work with magical materials would probably keep it on the way down low.
Okay. So I wouldn't have known anybody like through my dad who could also work with magical materials?
Not anybody that you would just know. If you wanted to walk around and spend some time in the afternoon searching for somebody, you can try that. Talia?
Yeah, I was just going to say, what about the smith that Sam Valheim got to make for his mom's prosthetic? Because Talia would, if he's still around and Talia knew that, she would suggest that he might be able to do it.
In fact, you have not seen that person. And you actually never, nobody ever asked, wait, how did you get that person here? And then
Yeah, we
where
didn't
did
even
they
know
go?
her name. So, yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
you're not sure.
Okay.
But
I
no,
Talia will say that that's
not-
the sort of thing that she could have done probably, but who knows where she went at this point.
right. No, that is definitely the kind of person that you would want to be like, hey, I've got this magical stuff. Can you do anything with it?
Can you do something cool with it? Great. I'll spend the rest of the afternoon then looking around to see if there's anybody who could. And along the way, I'd like to also see if I can find any any bards. See if there are any bards around here.
Okay. If one of you three could please give me a D12 roll. As you guys are going
I'll
to spend
do
a
it.
few hours walking around.
2.
Okay. So, Elmania, how are you going about looking for these things?
It's a good question. I want to like go around and see if there are any like blacksmiths who I notice have any weaponry or armor or stuff that they've made that has like even a little bit of kind of enchantment to it, or if I notice that any of them are working with some unusual material or anything, or I'm like, oh, that's kind of funky. To kind of probe. And for bards, I'm literally just looking around to see if there's anybody who kind of like bears the marks of the bard college or is really good at playing music, et cetera, et cetera. Like if there's anybody kind of in this area who's still kind of troubadouring it up.
Okay. In that case, do you have any means of actually detecting magic? I don't see that spell on your list. So go ahead and give me an Arcana check and then a Perception check.
Okay. 10 for Arcana. 19 for Perception.
19 for Perception. Yeah, you do see somebody from the Bard College that you definitely recognize.
Is it Horace?
In fact, you have competed on a number of occasions.
Is it Horace?
And remind me, Horace is a Dragonborn as well, or no?
He was an orc.
He was not a Dragonborn. He was a dwarf, I think.
No, he wasn't an orc. The orc was a different member of
Okay.
that competition.
A dwarf, not orc, but
Orc. Yeah, you definitely see Horace. You would recognize that hairy dwarven, the back of his stupid head anywhere. And he's kind of sitting at a table outside one of the houses in the Cataract district, kind of back to you guys.
is he playing anything?
He is not.
Interesting. Great. I'm going to give him a bit of a berth as I kind of like side-eyed him while I walk by to like see if he looks any different or like what's going on with him. Like, how is he up here? Curious. But I want to see like what he's up to.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys kind of following Elmania, you all kind of give him a bit of a wide berth. Elmania, give me another perception check real quick.
Sure. Because I don't look anything like I used to, so I doubt he would recognize me anyway.
Right.
Because I'm a different species, but
before you actually get his attention, as you kind of skirt around and you're about to, hail him, you can see that he is just hunched over, eyes closed, and his fingers have all been cut down to like the first knuckle.
Oh no. Oh, that's what they do to bards.
That's
Oh.
what they do to magic users.
Well, I should just not do music for a while, huh? Oh shit. I'm going to go over to Horace, my sworn enemy, and um and be like, hello, sir. How are you doing today?
As you first start speaking, he flinches a little bit and his eyelids fly open.
Oh.
He does not have eyes. And as he starts to, like, he kind of goes, huh? You see that his tongue has also been.
Oh fuck. Oh. Okay.
As you kind of touch him, he like kind of stumbles back away from you on the table.
I'm going to grip his shoulder, to kind of like give him a sense of like where I am, like not really like moving, but it's very much that like where you just go, yes, this is my hand. Like I just go, oh, I apologize. Here's my hand, so that he knows where I am.
As it's clear that your touch is not violent or harassing, he grabs onto your arm to kind of steady himself. And then you see, as you know, his hands feel your feathers, and he slaps your arm away again and pushes away on the table again.
I'm so sorry. I know I have a lot of feathers. I'm kind of a bird. I swear I'm okay. I swear.
His face is turned in your direction, but there's no response.
I put my hand kind of back on his shoulder, like and I tell him, I'm like, I'm gonna put my hand on your shoulder just so you know where I am. It's very much, I feel like when you're is this insensitive for me to say? It's like when I was little and I would go horseback riding, and how you're supposed to like maintain touch while you're walking around an animal so that it always knows where you are so it doesn't get spooked by you. Kind of that similar thing of just like, you will always know where I am. And I'm just going to whisper, may Silhalin's blessings be upon you. And then step back from that.
As your hand is kind of reached out towards him, you hear somebody shout, "Hey, hey, get off of him!" And you kind of turn and see, and there's a kind of a small, wiry human that you also know from the college, who's another musician named Tyver, kind of runs towards you holding a stick, just like swinging it through the air, as almost as if he is trying to scare off, like, you know, like an animal or something, and he is just shouting incoherently at you and like waving the stick and making big motions.
Immediately, like as he's kind of like running towards him, like, I'm not doing anything. I was giving him a. You know what? Okay. Hi, Kyver.
As you start to talk, he like skids. As you start to talk, he skids to a stop, like stick still up, just like.
Hi, Tyver.
Vera and Talia. He looks over at you guys, and it's just like, "What is that thing?
No,
Why is it talking?"
It's a person?
All right.
It's a person.
Hi. Hello. Little beak snap. Hi.
You get away from him.
It's all right.
I know.
Big steps back right now.
Amanya, come away, please.
I take a big step back, and I'm like, geez, Tyver, thanks. It's not like we were friends or anything. Gosh.
Tyver hurries over to Horace, and then, I mean, essentially does the same thing that you were doing, like hand on the shoulder for him to like grasp and steady and locate himself. and just kind of has the stick between himself and you guys.
It's fine.
How does it know my name? Still addressing Vera and Talia.
It's not an it. It's a person.
It's a she. Someone you might have known?
Kind of nudge Vera in the ribs.
Yeah.
Josh, whatever you said, we didn't catch that.
Yeah, you froze for a second there.
Oh, he just said, yeah? You said somebody you might have known, and that's it. So he's like, yeah? Who?
Okay.
I don't know any man-sized.
That's fine. Neither did I. It's Almania, and I got turned into a bird by a witch. But it's Almania. We were friends. We played a lot of music together in the college.
It's all right. We have nothing to do with the circle. We won't hurt you or your friend. We're just passing through.
This son of shit to do? Fuck. God.
Amanya, you knew Cormier as well as I did.
Yeah, I didn't know this. I died, remember?
That's true. I was about to yell at you unreasonably that you should have seen what he was doing to that poor man, but you were dead at the time, so you are excused.
Tyver, hi. It's Almania Kalmavdalor. I used to be a dragonborn, remember? We played a lot of music together. We took a music composition class together. We sat next to each other for like 2 years and studied for tests. And I got turned into a bird. And I'm very sorry. I know I look weird, but it's just me. I'm still here.
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage. They're helping you, so it'll cancel out.
Okay, I'll take
So
it.
straight roll.
Okay. Persuasion, you said?
Yep.
23.
23.
Charisma.
Smarts.
All right. So let's say I believe any of that. Why are you harassing Horace here?
I wasn't harassing him. I thought I recognized him because I do. We used to compete in a lot of music performances together, and I came over to say hello, and then I saw this, and so I gave him a blessing, and I was about to go. I've been looking for a blacksmith and it's been a weird day. And then you ran at me like I was a caged animal, and I'm a little bit offended, Tyver.
She just got her memory back.
Yeah.
Things are a little strange.
You were harassing. And he's been through enough.
Yeah, clearly he's been through enough. Jeez.
You'll have to
All
forgive
right.
her. She's just recently recovered from a brain fever.
Oh, thanks. God.
No, it's fine. Shut up. Get inside before anybody else sees you. Come on. And he kind of leads Horace inside the building that he was sitting outside of.
Was he saying come in to us or before anybody sees you or to him?
I mean, more specifically to you, but yeah, like gesture to all of you and was like, yeah, get inside before anybody else sees you.
Okay, I go in after him.
Just to clarify, where are we again?
You guys are just in a street in the Cataract District. As you guys have been kind of looking around for a blacksmith.
Okay.
What is it?
In the Cataracts?
Yeah,
Okay.
in your home district. And Elmanio's just been walking around blacksmiths like, okay, there's a blacksmith. Nope, not that one. You guys have just been following around until she spotted this guy. So yeah, you guys are in the Cataract District outside one of the smaller homes.
Great, yeah. I'll go in. Yeah.
Okay, Elmania goes in. Vera, Talia?
Yeah, I'll follow.
He leads. You guys walk in right as Tyver is leading Horace kind of into another room. You can see that he lays him down at a cot and then hands him something like wrapped in a bundle. that you see Horace immediately begins like unwrapping and then just kind of shoves it into his mouth, and Tyver comes out and closes the door behind him. There's not much in here. I mean, this is the living / kitchen area, and where you would normally see, some, dried meat or something hanging from the ceiling, or vegetables or something like that. It's pretty sparse and bare. There's just kind of a heavy wooden table in the middle of the room. He pulls out a couple of stools and slides them towards you guys, and then sits down himself. I don't have enough food to offer you anything, so.
Oh
That's
God,
alright.
fine. Don't even worry about it.
I start to spoon oatmeal out of my pocket.
Grace is like, I saw this coming. I knew this was
Into
gonna
a
come in handy.
dish.
He looked like he's about to ask you what it is, and then the smell kind of hits him.
I know it's been in my pocket, but you're welcome to it.
Think people care about that shit now? And he quickly kind of scoops it up, and you can see he kind of tucks it into a canvas, like a small canvas bag, similar to the one you saw him hand Horace, and kind of tie it up. And then kind of runs up to the next level. You hear some things moved around. You hear some rummaging. There's some silence. And then you hear his footsteps as he kind of comes back down again. Thank you. So you're really Almania?
Yeah, it's me.
What the hell happened to you? I thought you were dead.
Yeah, I did die. And
Well,
then
that's
oh, sorry. Talia, would you like to tell the story?
No, I was going to say it's a complicated story, and perhaps we don't have time to go into it now.
I mean, I'm fine going into it. I'm a very fast storyteller.
It's your life.
it just might be
You guys gave us food, so you're welcome to hang out for a while, but I'm not going to keep you. And I'll give you a little bit of friendly advice. Cover you up.
Oh, thanks, but okay.
Amanya, perhaps
There are things coming out of the sewers. Half the city is starving. Just, you could probably get away with the feathers, but cover the face and the beak.
Okay. Hey, you know best, man.
Yeah. Kind of reaches under into a cupboard and pulls out some kind of large, what looks like it used to be a shirt, and just like tosses it to you.
I guess, like, you don't have to give me things. Like, I'd feel bad taking stuff from you in these very trying times.
Look, there's plenty of clothing and shoes and whatnot to go around from all of the people disappearing. Food is rare, and you gave us some. So take the shirt.
Okay, I will take the shirt.
how are things in the Cataract District? We thought it looked better, at least, than some of the slacks, but still bad.
I haven't been to the slacks, but yeah, things are shit.
Didn't we see some form of the City Watch here in the Cataracts? Are they still in existence?
Sort of. In theory, the council still pays them, but mostly the council keeps us as a buffer between them and the rest.
Yes, that's what I thought. I mean, what on earth has the council been doing this entire time, to be perfectly honest?
Great question. As far as I know, sitting up there on their hill, stuffing their fat faces, and allowing crazy bands of people to go around and mutilate people and carve spirals into their backs. And I mean, you saw Horace.
I assume
Okay,
that's the circle's work, yes?
That's what they call themselves.
God, they sucked.
Just a bit.
I'm like
Now, Horace,
putting on a shirt to like cover up my feathers.
yeah, Horace had real talent. Almania, he could do things.
Yeah, he really could. I mean, that's why we were musical rivals. He was really good. We fought very hard over our time slot at this snowdrop for a long time.
Yeah.
But he was really good.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he was an asshole, but I mean, look at him.
But he was still really.
Can't he still play something? I know as he is, but he could still play.
You saw his hands.
Yes. And his tongue, but the voice is still there.
He
The
could play.
hands are still there.
He could still drum, but it's hard when you can't play the instrument that you specialized in for a very long time.
I understand.
Yeah.
Do you play for him?
Let's keep our voices down. He doesn't like hearing people talk about it.
I understand.
Do you play sometimes, Tiger?
What's that?
Do you play for him sometimes?
No. I had to sell all my instruments early on until that stopped being worth anything.
So you don't have any instruments at all?
Oh, it's
No.
I
Kind of a minor concern at the moment. We have much bigger ones.
well, and it's best not to be seen as a caster.
But still, music was our
Oh,
life.
you can play music, just don't do anything while you're doing it.
I'm going to.
Horace, make these lights. Kids loved it. Saved my life when ran into the first ghouls.
Yeah. I'm going to reach into my bag and pull out my lyre. Because I have a flute, and a lyre.
Yep.
And I am going to hand him my lyre and say, I have been on quite a few adventures, and I am blessed enough to be alive at this point. But don't stop playing. You had a lot of talent too. And I enjoyed all of our time together. And who knows how you could sell it for money or whatever, but someone in a sort of indirect way ended up giving these to me, and I think you should have this one.
Manya, I appreciate that, and I'll find somebody who thinks it's worth a few mouthfuls. And he takes it carefully. He knows how to handle it, but kind of sets it to the side. But I won't be playing it anytime soon.
You can sell it. It's fine. But even if you just play it once, it would bring me a lot of joy to know that at least you could hold on to that.
Well, I'd love to, but I'm gonna stick around Horace and reminds him. So I won't be playing it anytime soon.
Okay. Would he hate it if I played something for him?
So where the hell did you go?
Oh gods. Yeah, that's okay. Across the sea to Worcestershire to Vreem. I mean, I can say I was in Vreem. Like, I don't think Vreem has a problem with me saying I went to Vreem.
Like I said, brain fever.
Went all the way to the Empire.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've been there and back again
Shut up,
Let's
Talia.
simply say, but Almania, you're the most honest person I've ever met.
Apologies.
May be a dangerous thing. And it's no offense to you, Mr. Tyver, or to your friend, but we've been places.
Look, I don't give a damn, and I'm not judging you for going to the Empire. Was it safe there? Did they have food? Can you take others across the sea? How did you get back?
Well, we almost died on the way there, so you know it was
And
fun.
the way back.
And the way back. I don't even know if we'd be able to find anybody who would take us back over at this point. But yeah, they had food.
Do you still have a vessel? I mean, I know some people who used to work at the docks.
Unfortunately, no. It had to be passed on.
Need a crew.
That is an interesting point. If it were an option, do you have a community here? I mean, it sounds like you're in contact with people here in the Cataract District.
Get really bad.
Sorry, you're freezing up there, Josh.
These. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with my internet. Let me know if it looks like I said a bunch of things and then you just didn't understand it.
That's happened quite a few times.
He said that when things get really bad, the viable size of communities diminishes, and right now it's just him and Horace.
But you said you had friends worked at the docks.
I know people who would also want to get out of here.
Yes, that's what I meant. If it were an option, we know where to find you now, and we will.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are leaving,
If
go with you.
Good.
You got a time frame or something? I
no,
Not-
it's
don't like to leave Horace alone for too long, but I can increase my my scavenging time. Build up some
Not
supplies.
any set plans. But once we do, I will contact you. I will let you know when we know what we're doing.
Fucking do that. All right.
Cross my heart, hope to die for a third time.
Died twice.
Yeah, once it was just my body and once it was my soul. It's a very long story. I will tell you when we leave. It will be a great song that we can write.
Like I said,
Oh my god, Talia.
a little bit of a brain fever. She's fine.
What's wrong with you, bro?
Well, okay.
All right.
We're going to keep on going and continue with our plans. I will tell you when something happens. And I look over at Horace and I go, would he hate it if I played him a song?
Every time I've tried, he doesn't react well.
Okay. I've been writing one over the course of my adventures and it's not finished yet. I like to practice it and see if people like it and to see if if people have good reactions to it. But if you think you wouldn't like it, then I don't have to. It's fine.
You were always better than I am.
Nah, you're great in our composition class.
So you're welcome to try, but if he starts reacting, you stop immediately.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
So are you gonna play and
Oh,
sing?
good. Yes.
Okay, give me a performance check. Vera, you've heard this for the first time. I'm sorry, you've heard this before. you're hearing it again. Talia, you've heard snippets and you've heard her talking about it. You've never heard it at all this developed. Yeah, Almanya, go ahead and give me a performance check.
Performance. Do do do. Come on. All right. That's a natural one. Fuck. That's okay. It's okay. I can't every performance.
Oof.
You hit the first few notes, and Horace immediately begins wailing.
No, no.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
The sound that comes out of his throat is one of the most lost and broken noises you have
Oh.
ever heard.
I immediately stop. Like I get like 3 notes and I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oof.
No, it's
That's rough.
it's pretty obvious. Tyver drags you out of the room, closes the door. Yeah, that's about what happens.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I shouldn't have tried. That's fine. Okay.
You haven't learned anything that can fix that, have you? Regrow fingers, eyes, limbs.
I wish desperately that I did. I met somebody who turned me into this after I had been dead, and that's about the extent of what I've had done to me. But unfortunately, I haven't learned anything that can regrow limbs. But
What's wrong with your friend? Why does she keep touching her face?
I have no idea. Okay, she wasn't with us on part of this adventure. Only Ma over here was. And I think she still thinks I'm a little.
Is she saying that she's crazy or you're crazy?
I think she's saying that I'm crazy, but I do have a lot of witnesses who are there to say that I wasn't. So
Cool.
anyway,
No,
it was.
this all makes perfect sense.
I know. It was good to see you. So I'm glad that at least you're here, and I'm glad that Horace has you taking care of him.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I gotta get about more things before the sun goes down tonight. So
Yes, of course. I will leave you to what you do. If and when
hands up and pushes
leave.
away from the table.
Mr. Tyver, I'm sorry we cannot restore your friend to the way he was. My only piece of advice, for what it's worth, is just remind him that he lives, and that's worth something.
Is it
No,
like that?
it's not.
Thanks, Talia. You're such a
Try
great.
to- We'll try to get him some whiskey or something that might help.
If it's not worth something, then what is the point? I mean, you're both alive, you're both here. There's a reason.
If you call this living, sure.
Well, what's the other choice? Go jump off the wall?
Please don't do that. Not when we have a
That's
plan.
what I mean. They haven't yet. There's a reason they haven't.
Wouldn't be the first, but
I know, but you haven't. That means it's worth it. Something has been worth it.
yeah. Well, if you figure out what it is, be sure to tell me.
Clearly, you have already. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Why? Because I haven't had the guts to jump into the river myself.
I think it's more than fear.
See, she's the reason I'm alive. She's a tough son of a bitch, and you're allowed to slap me for that one, but later.
Give me a quick persuasion check.
$19.
19. All right, look. I promise not to jump off the wall if we get a plan together. You come straight to us.
I will, because you know what the thing is that's not fear? Hope.
I don't know if you've ever been in a situation like this one, Grandma, but hope is the most painful goddamn thing I've ever felt.
Don't I know it, son?
And I thought that I had gotten rid of it. If you bring it back right now and then you don't hold up your end of this, a ghost will haunt you forever. I'm gonna drag that guy along, and he's gonna make that noise every waking moment of your life.
Well, dearie, you're going to join the queue. But I do my best to keep
All
my
right, then.
promises.
And a lot of people doing their best, and it's not enough.
And you know my word is good. I helped you study
Right.
for your finals.
Feels like a lifetime ago. All right, you get out of here. Come back whenever you're ready. I got work to do.
Thank you. I
He kinda
appreciate you. Thank you.
pushes you guys out the door.
Okay. I reach over to Talia and whack her on the shoulder and go, thanks for telling everybody that I'm crazy. Appreciate you so much right now.
Almania, listen to reason. You can't go around saying you were dead and you came back in a city full of ghouls. You can't go around telling people that there's a way out of the city when there isn't. We have been dealt a difficult hand, and it's up to us to make the best of it.
Well, then let me
Right?
make my own decisions.
You could bring danger upon all of us.
Well, you don't have to stand next to me then if you don't want to.
Maybe I won't.
Great, then don't.
Ladies, in some ways you're both right. But, Talia, I have to ask you, what, to make the best of it, to do what? To sit? To leave these people here? To stay behind the walls of the council district? What is this?
There is no use, Ma, in offering up hope that we cannot give them the outcome of.
That's what hope is. It's a wish and a prayer.
We must take what we can from the places where we can take it. Places that are accessible and available to us. There's enough to deal with in the city without going gallivanting off across the ocean and off to Bream or some other place. We did that, and look what it got us. How many of us left this city, Ma? And how many of us returned? Think about that before
We're
you go
back
making people
now.
promises.
We're back now, and
So
leaving
you're
is
just
not
going
my
to leave
intention.
again?
No, leaving is not my intention. At least never leaving alone again. Either we all leave or we all stay. And by I mean all of us, I mean Onisher.
Look, I understand that we've been apart for a while. Because of that, things are difficult. But I have loyalties here. And I thought you
Yes.
did as well.
I do. That's what I'm saying. But my loyalties are not. I mean, what does Sam Valheim want to do? Does he want to clear the city? Does he want to bring it back the way it was? Because that's what I want.
He wants to restore it to order, of course. What else
Then
would
what
he
if he-
want?
What is he doing?
what he can.
What is the rest of the council doing? I know I have no right to ask it because I've been gone, but it seems to me there are options and they're not being taken. I don't understand. And I'm not blaming you and never would.
Well, I can't speak for the rest of the council. All I know is Sandalhain, and he has done right by me.
I know he has. I bless him for that. But I don't see a lot of hope in the street for anything. And if they don't have that, then no plan is going to work. There is no future. There's nothing.
So you would have them cling to hopes of ships.
No, that's not what I
From
said to
Bream?
him. That's not what I said to him. Anything that happens here has to happen here. Has to come from here.
Look, Ma, I understand what you're going through, but there's an order and a way that things have to be done. There always
Why?
has been. It's
If it doesn't work, then why do we follow it?
because it's the way it is, Ma. It's the way it is supposed to be. There is a path that must be followed.
What
There's
Who
no
makes
code.
it?
What's at the
Who
end
makes
of the
code? Samvelhain. People like
I
him.
think multiple people. Sorry, I think multiple people said something at the same time, and what each said
So
didn't
sorry.
quite come across. So nobody knows
Yeah.
how to what to respond. or-
Exactly.
So sorry.
So real,
Oh, you're-
real, there was a quick like everybody said something. So we're gonna go in the order on my screen. Mary, what did you say? Then Jenny, then Grace.
I said, what path? What's at the end of the path then?
Well, the success of the city, of course. The success of the council, the people.
But if the path isn't, if the path is just there and it's the way that it is and it's not working, then who's to say that that's what's at the end of the path?
It's that there are so many factions that have not yet come to see the true path forward. The city is very divided. On
No,
one side, we have the cult of Illyrial. On the other side, we have the circle. We have any number of factions in between.
and you're just expecting to tell these people politely and they'll eventually join you on this path?
I believe that people seek out what they need. And when certain people have what others need, the path will eventually lead to those people who hold what is needed.
It's either that or they come in and then destroy the people who have the thing that they need and then just take over themselves, which seems to be how the circle's dealing with it right now.
That is why we have protection where we do.
And what about the rest of the city? Don't they deserve protection?
Well, of course,
So why aren't they protected?
because we are not yet strong enough to protect everyone. I understand you've been away for a while, Almanya. Things are different from our squad days.
Yeah, quite a bit. But I think things are just different in general. This has nothing to do with, like back when we were young and everything was simple. We're watching the destruction of a society. We are watching our city and culture crumble. And what everybody seems to think is fine is to just say, yeah, let's just keep going with how it's been, even though the entire city is crumbling around us.
So what answers do you bring us from your wide experience of travel outside of this city, Almanya Kamavdalor?
Well, you don't have to be pretentious about it, and you don't have to look down at me. But I'm not here with answers. I'm here with questions about why things are the way that they are, because that's the thing that comes from traveling. Is maybe you start to question things a little bit and say, "Huh, wow, there's a lot of different ways to do things that maybe we never thought of before.
But by your own admission, we don't need more questions, do we? We need answers.
And you have answers.
I do not.
Then who has
Yeah.
answers? Who has the answers that we're looking for? Is it the council? Is it the people? Is it the circle? Is it the cult of Illyriel? Who has the right?
Certainly not the circle.
Gods, I hope not. But who has the actual answers at this point? Is it the Dragonborn and the Hegemony who just picked up all their people and left? Is that the next step, to pick up all of our people and leave? Is that the right idea?
Is that not what you just offered that poor man?
Yes. I'm saying that this is a different idea than what's happening right now. We should start thinking about other possibilities outside of a bunch of people in a district with really nice flowers who seem to be doing just fine, and an entire city of people who are being trod upon and destroyed like Horus.
It hasn't all been roses, Amanya.
It hasn't for me either.
All I am saying is that perhaps you might not want to paint a target on your back right now. Perhaps you do. But speech like you were giving to him is a sure way of doing it. Do you want the circle to come after you? Do you want the cult of Illyriel after you? Do you want any of the scores of factions throughout the city to come hunting for you? Because you suddenly have all of the answers? Is that what you want?
I never said I had any of the answers. What I said was, I died. That's not much of an answer.
Dying and coming back to life is not out of the ordinary in this city.
Yeah, I've noticed.
I think we've all said what we needed to say. And I think things will become clearer once we can speak with Sam Valheim in the morning and hear his perspective about what is being done.
Of course. He always offers great clarity in every encounter I've had with him.
Yes.
But in the meantime, it is getting late, and I would dearly love to see those boys of yours again. Ma, maybe we can make it back to where you are? Josh, can't hear you.
Vera, it is during this conversation.
Okay, there's just a delay. We catch
I'm
you
unmuted.
eventually.
Oh, okay. Vera, it is during this conversation that you are contacted, and you know immediately that it is Shoji.
I'm so sorry.
And
Joe.
it says, safe at camp, success, minor scuffle, ghouls almost got Ritza, run in with the circle, all recovered and safe. When will you return?
I have written a exactly 25-word response already. Before I respond to her, though, I will turn to the others. To be honest, so Sho just contacted me. They're all fine. Wait, is that how sending works? Am I allowed to delay and then respond?
It lasts for a round. So no.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Return unsure. Tell, and I'm allowed to say this silently, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is in my head, so y'all can't hear me. Return unsure. Tell Benji found transportation pylon, which he does know about because I told him all about it. With Sam Valheim, Council District secure, has resources. Is alliance possible? I'm skeptical, but option if desperate enough. Advise.
Okay. So tell Benji we found the pylon. We're with Sam Velhane. Council is secure. Is alliance possible? Skeptical, but
But option if desperate enough. Advise.
okay. Response. Presumably she expended the rest of her slots in kind of their journeys through the city.
Okay.
So you guys headed back to the Slacks?
Yes. I'll no, actually.
Oh.
Because we need to talk. I'm a little confused because I thought we were going to stay with Sam Velhane and then talk to him in the morning.
That's what I thought too.
Oh. I thought you guys were just gonna. Sam Velhane and Rufus took it that you guys were just going to. You would come back in the morning.
That's also how Talia took it.
Oh, there was complete miscommunication.
Thought it was
No,
sleepover at your house.
no. That's why I sent the message.
I thought we were sleeping over at your house. I told my mom I was sleeping at your house. Cool, let's go somewhere else entirely and party. Fun. Okay. So Talia also took it as in you guys were going to come back in the morning.
Oh, what time is it?
Yeah, I guess it's up to you. It's like mid-afternoon.
All right. So how much sunlight do we have left?
Good like 6 hours.
Alrighty. Can we go back to Sam Velhane's, clarify this situation, stuff our pockets with food, and then go back to the Slacks?
Wait,
you
still go back
could,
to the Slacks tonight? I'm confused.
Yes. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was an option. I think I was thinking like it's too late to go back. It would be too dangerous to go back.
Well, why can't we
No,
just
it's
get
only
food
because you
tomorrow?
guys left pretty early morning, went to Almania's house, and you were there for a little bit, and then went to Sam Velhane's, and you guys were there for an hour and a half, and then it was just another like hour or so of looking. So yeah, it's early afternoon still.
Oh, nice.
Okay, never mind. Never mind. We can go back to the
yeah,
Slacks. I
You
was
guys-
confused.
You guys had asked for food, so you guys have the food that Talia promised you from Sam Velhane's. You all have like packs of fresh food.
Okay. Sorry, I was confused. I'm happy to go back to the Slacks. I was confused. I would have
completely forgot
changed
to
that
narrate
message.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to send a different message then?
Yeah, because that whole message was like, okay, you need to start this line of communication because I'm not going to be there.
Yeah. That's why I was confused.
Yes. So I'll just say, glad you're okay. We'll be back in a few hours.
Okay.
I mean, I was looking forward to seeing Shoji again. I mean,
Yes.
oddly enough. But yes, I was looking forward to seeing Shoji again.
So you will. She's there. She's safe.
Okay. If you guys are heading back to the Slacks, can I get somebody to roll a D12?
Oh God. I'll do it.
I rolled earlier, so somebody else
I'll
is
do it.
Want to do it? Okay.
Jenny rolled really good earlier.
5.
Okay. Your journey through the city back to the Slacks is largely uneventful. You draw
Largely.
fewer looks this time now that your bird person has their like face hooded and shadowed with a radial tunic.
I did not realize that everybody was going to have people in this world.
You forgot how racist Onisher is.
I did forget how racist Anna sure is.
Remember the Minotaur?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
wasn't that the first? Wasn't that like the first thing that you guys ran into during that? Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, you draw fewer looks. Oh, you guys are stopped by the Mayweather pickets, and somebody comes out to physically inspect you, and check you for any symptoms of anything, and then you guys are allowed to the compound.
I'm so sorry if you could backtrack for 1 second. Because when we were passing through Brass territory, because we went back the same way, I assume, through the cataracts. Did we see anyone that I could talk to in Brass territory?
Like anyone at all, or anybody that looks to be a member of the Brass?
Anybody that looks Brass.
Sure. Yeah.
You can say no
Give
if
me
you want
a
to
perception
move along.
Give me a perception check.
That's my jam. 24.
Good God. You spot just inside an alley, an individual, human male, just kind of leaning up against the wall of the alley, just absent-mindedly, like whittling down some piece of like some like broken spar of a wooden crate or something, just absent-mindedly whittling it down. Catches your attention because you have seen pretty much nobody outside alone, and certainly nobody doing anything absent-mindedly or aimlessly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you definitely catch that.
I'm so sorry. So sorry, friends. Do you mind if I chat with this gentleman for a moment?
Yeah, go ahead.
Of course not. Just maybe, keep the crazy talk to a minimum.
I will. I'm merely suggesting that an open line of communication would be best. Can I go up to him? And do we have, because I'm just going to assume this, a kind of general cant that every Anashurian gang would know?
Yeah, I would say, Frank, like your thieves' cant would not be communicable in any other city. Like there's no universal thieves' cant, but you and the Brass and the Angels, like the Angels have their own cant, and the Brass have their own cant, and the family has their own cant. But there's also like a hybrid, almost Creole version of it as well, that all three would probably speak with each other.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to step up slowly with my hands like up away from my weapons and essentially give the cant for like, I'm a messenger, no violence, white flag.
Okay.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah. I'd like to talk to someone.
You do that, and he doesn't look up, but he does respond back. Close enough, Grandma. What you want?
Not much, just friendly word.
A lot of friendship going around these days.
Don't I know it? Seems rather foolish to me.
Maybe. Won't you speak your friendly words from over there?
I will. And they're very simple. And truth is, I've been away from the city and I've just come back. And it appears to have gone quite a bit downhill since I left. And It's life versus death. And the family and the brass are alive.
Is that it?
That's it.
Casual observation on a bright, chipper day.
That's it. Just the fact that we need unity more than division nowadays. Who's the real enemy?
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh, I didn't actually roll persuasion. That's plus a 5. So 11.
You have a +5 persuasion?
Yeah. I put
Nice.
not expertise. Whatever
Proficiency.
it's called. Proficiency on it.
Oh, okay, cool. So 11. Yeah, all right. Well, thanks for wasting my time. Can move along now.
Just a thought before I go, and I'm happy to go. What is it the brass wants?
I'd like you to stop. What's the expression? Crap. I'd like you to step off so you're not blocking my sun.
Been in your sun for a while, haven't we?
He looks at you for the first time. How you want to make something of it, eh?
Merely saying that the rules are out the window. The old way is done.
Yeah, all right. I'm cool with that. And kind of a dagger appears in each hand.
I'm not going to hit you. It's been enough of it between us. But you're welcome to throw.
I bet that just takes all the fun out of it.
Life versus death. And that dagger would do better sticking out of a ghoul.
But you're weird, and just gonna go find myself another Ellie. Knives go away, and he just kind of strides off.
Keep on walking to the stacks.
Right. So as you guys kind of enter Benji's territory, you see Constantine and Damia and Shoji walking around in various areas, and got about 5 hours of sunlight left. What do you guys want to do?
Find my boy.
Okay.
Practice my music because I want to level up. So badly, Josh. No to do that.
You could throw half the day. You still got about half the day left. So if you all wanted to throw half the day at your next level,
Yes, please.
to train, you are welcome to do so.
I've done all the
So
stuff that I want to do. I'm just waiting for him to go to find my family. At this point,
I need to come up with a 13th age style thing, right? Because I make you guys take essentially a week of training. I need to come up with a 13th age style thing where it's like after 2 days you can pick one feature of the next level to get. For another 2 or 3 days, I want to devise that thing.
That would be helpful.
Yes.
I'm just for the sake of this, I will just be Vera's shadow, just like Talia used to be all the time. I'm just right there with Vera, unless she dismisses me.
Come with me.
Vera, you do not need to find Benji, as a runner quickly comes and finds you and nervously informs you that Benji is demanding your presence.
Alrighty. Almania's still the one with the bag of holding, right?
Yee, I am.
With the pylon in
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
I will go.
Yes. I keep forgetting that the pylon is in there. What pylon? This pylon.
Bam.
So yeah, you head to the command center, and Benji is in there. And as you walk in, he dismisses the. Actually, no. He keeps the guards there, and he does point to Talia. Vera, what's your passive insight? It's something absurd, right?
Passive insight?
It's your insight plus 10.
15.
15, yeah.
16, sorry.
Benji is livid and barely holding it in.
As he points at me, I just kind of wave and say, "It's nice to see you again, Benji."
Cool. You're not invited. Get out.
I'm sorry, Talia, maybe it would be best.
All right, sure.
No reflection on you, but might be some backlash.
Privacy, of course, it's important.
So
All right.
Talia walks out. And
Lay in.
Benji Benji stares at you for a moment. So you're just here to help out, yeah?
My intention. You're angry I went to Sambelhain.
Not here to take back your old position, not here to exercise your old authority, just back here to help.
You're angry I went to Sambelhain without your permission.
I don't give a fuck about Sambelhain. What I'm angry about is that you come back and yeah, I'm here to help, and then next thing I know, the press says you sent a message to them calling for a meet.
I did no such thing. I certainly spoke to one.
So, Pentagon was just having a laugh, right? Just making it up. You didn't send a message to the brass.
No, I said I did. Here's the question. What did he say that message was?
It's time to put our differences aside and, essentially calling for a meet.
Well, I certainly didn't suggest a meet. I did suggest, yes, set the differences aside.
Last I checked, associates of the family don't have the authority to invite rival gang to conversations or to send them unauthorized messages.
Is this really what matters? Is this really what matters? That I spoke to a man in an alley?
That you undermined my authority. I cannot do authority.
You're doing great.
It's the hardest one.
It's not great.
It's so
Authority.
hard. I'm not even doing it because it's so hard.
You kind of swallow the last T.
Yeah,
40. 40. 40.
Undermined my authority.
40. You got this.
I did.
Have
Old
you
habit.
Have you seen the way this city is?
Yes, I have.
You think authority is not important, that you can just undermine it left and right without consequences?
was an old habit that's dying hard. And I'm sorry for it.
Kill it fast.
I'm sorry for it. But I shouldn't have said that. Your father always said anything that comes before but doesn't matter, didn't he?
Damn right he did.
So I'm sorry, no buts.
By the way, Vera, you also know that Talia, with a passive perception of 19, you know that Talia is basically right outside.
Sensible girl.
So I didn't know if you wanted to do anything about that.
Oh no.
Okay. Uh,
Will you meet with
anything that comes after or before the butt doesn't really matter, right? Got it. Back in character.
and I'm sorry, no but.
You can shelter here, but you have no part of the family anymore.
I can't do it. I can't be here and not here. Will you let me speak to you at least?
Go find Theodosia.
I know where she is.
Where is she?
She's with the Bremans, that's all I know. And she's safe.
That's something.
Is. And please, Stanvalhain knows me. People know me. Let me talk. But say only what you want me to say. But we have to meet, we have to talk. Is there any other way?
The big folk. It's only 1 in 100 that see it all. I can't trust them not to get infected and then to bring it back. They're not going to accept our authority.
There's one
Everybody's
thing
in their camp, smart. It's got to stay that way. Right now, they're between us and things that want to eat my people.
I know. But you know the worst thing that I learned today is that's exactly what the counselors think. They sit in their camp with all their resources and feed everybody else as a buffer to the thresher.
Oh, it's kept them safe. Now all the others, they're not part of mine. I will feed them to the grinder to keep mine safe.
Oh my dear boy. How are my stupid mistakes standing in front of me.
And he now gestures, and the guards leave. Talia, you you hear them coming. Do you stay there?
Yeah, I'll just kind of do the old turning around, kind of picking at my nails. I'm not doing anything.
The old
They're
lead.
definitely not letting you get away.
Okay,
But unless you'd like to resist, they usher you on.
sure, that's fine. I'll go find Shoji.
So Benji gives the guards a moment to leave. Ma, I love you. It was scary. It was confusing when you left. But pretty quickly, Gideon and I realized that rarely been happier. Because now it was our time. Every time our wives came back from your dinners, we didn't have to suspect that their ideas were really your ideas, trying to manipulate us into running the family the way you want. It's really ours. Trust my wife again, Ma.
Oh my boy, that's why I left.
Then why did you come back? The situation here is shit, but it was. Ma, this was working.
Is it working, my love?
Not well. Other mistakes and the decisions from mine. The Gideons and the only ours. All the stories. The story's ours now, Ma. You had yours.
You know, I met a friend when I was gone. And he had a metaphor about pulling a plow, something about that. And that by leaving, now you're strong enough to do it on your own. He's a very wise man, you know. Do you want me to go, my love?
Yes.
Even if you'll die when I'm gone.
Think that by staying, I won't.
At least I'll be there.
Now, well, if you stay, you're dying as well. Maybe part of the reason that Gideon and I were fine with you leaving is because, well, anywhere else has got to be better than here.
And you won't come with me. You won't. Everybody could come with us.
We looked at Vetmar. There's no more caravans. The council's got all the guards. Thousands of miles to the nearest other city. And not a damn person in the slacks knows what it's like to live outside these walls.
It might be nothing. One of the reasons we went on this little mission. Do you remember the pylons I told you about?
Oh yeah, the magic rocks.
We found one. It may still work. My friend Delmania, she has it right here in the compound. It could take us somewhere else.
And who's us?
We'd have to decide that, wouldn't we?
I've tried to learn all of your lessons, but I could not do that.
Because I'm afraid what I taught you was... what I tried was wrong. And I'm glad if you didn't learn it. That this is the world right here. And that our people are the only people in the world who matter. I don't think it's true.
I'm glad if that works for you, but I can't see past it. I won't
I know.
stop anyone who wants to go from going with you. These are our neighborhoods, and these are my people. We've taken from them for centuries, and I'm not leaving them to this.
And you wouldn't consider taking them somewhere else, every man, woman, and child. Starting again.
You've got a viable route where we're not all going to freeze and die and get picked off, starve. I'll take a look at it, but we look pretty hard. Can't move Gideon.
He's determined to stay, no matter what.
Oh, Ma, I lied to you. We're not moving him around. He's infected. It's Lyle. Can't go near him.
Where is he?
Outside the camp. Got him in one of the safe houses.
I don't know if this is true. Do you know if having had it once makes you immune?
That's actually a really good question.
Yes.
I'm sorry. This isn't a moment to just like say things like that and make it up on the spot. I want to make sure I don't already have a rule about it.
Please say yes.
The ones who survive it, aren't many, are more resilient if it comes again. There are those who have died from this second infection.
Gotta get that vaccine, man.
Yeah.
Wrong to be having this conversation, my God. Well, I guess it's a better time than.
I'll risk it. I've had it. I've lived through it.
You're sure?
Just
Why-
because my world's gotten a little bigger doesn't mean the people originally on it aren't worth everything to me.
Keep a good distance from him, and Mott, don't touch him. I know
No.
you're gonna want to, but don't.
I won't.
Can spread through any fluid, but mainly by blood.
I'll do what you ask. It's all or none. It's what I've been telling people. We all go or we all stay. Only it seems that staying isn't an option for me anymore.
Well, if you could just help yourself. Just stay out of the business.
Oh, my love. Could I?
Yeah, I know that was ridiculous.
I'm so proud of you.
At that point, he just like you see the tears because I can't do anything right now. I'm not sure how to play that. And he just buries his face in your shoulder.
I always was, you know. And I'll just hold him.
It's a brief moment, but it's a true moment. And then you watch him steel himself and bring the only standing member of Mayweather leadership back, and the sun kind of fades back into that. All right. Let me know what you need. And let me know who you decide to take with you. If it's not too hard a road, you can take a small number. There are some families that I would send with you.
I haven't made a plan yet, but you know me, I will. And I'll tell you about it, which is more than I might have done in the past.
Right. I love you, Ma. See you around.
I love you, Benji.
Right, send the runners back in. I've got Got some messages to send. As you walk out and send them back in, with your stupid passive perception of 19, you hear him order a runner sent to the brass.
Do I see Talia lurking around anywhere?
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
get very far.
Talia's lurking around, but
I'm really hoping Talia is doing like the very like obvious and yet trying to be sneaky walk away.
I love it.
we're gonna go ahead and stop right there because it is 9 o'clock and I have thoroughly emotionally abused Grace. I'm a little on the edge myself, so I think that's a good stopping point right there. Oh my god.
I need to remember to bring tissues to this stupid game. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We hope to see you again next Friday as we continue. No, as it gets even worse. There we go. In the meantime, join Becca and crew on Monday nights for Call of Cthulhu, Horror on the Orient Express. And also, in the meantime, and in case you didn't hear, a sticky note taped to the bottom of my camera so that I don't forget this. Our friend Beth's brother died recently. They have set up a fundraiser for his family. We've plugged the link on our Icona Productions Twitter. Do we have that up anywhere else?
It's also up on my Instagram.
Any of our socials and Jenny's Instagram.
Yep.
If we could help them out, that would be wonderful. Also follow and subscribe to our Twitch and YouTube channels. Visit us on iconicproduction.wordpress.com, where you can find all of our social media and find that link. Help Beth's brother's family. And you can support us on Patreon. Thank you all so much for your support. Until next week, we hope you stay happy, healthy, and safe. Cheers.